Talk Wireless savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Hey, it's Gordy Rush for Gulf Coast Bank and Trust Company. Recently, we learned all firsthand how important it is to have money set aside. Simply put, things happen. Make sure you have cash when you need it for the unexpected emergency or the expected dream purchase. Let Gulf Coast Bank help you get started. Stop by one of their convenient branches, call a banker, or go online to open your savings account today. Gulf Coast Bank, the bank that cares about you. Member FDIC.
Premier Tire and Auto is your brand new tire and auto shop, which is now open at 12470 Hooper Road. Premier Tire and Auto is your one-stop shop for all things tires, plus routine vehicle services. Come by and see us or give us a call at 225-372-2659.
Many people are injured and can't afford to get the treatment they need because insurance companies won't pay until the case is closed. I'm attorney Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is to Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
Minnesota, this is a bad football team. I don't get it when teams move on from guys because Case Keenum had him in the mix, right? He was there.
NFC Championship.
You just stay with that. And Coach Zim, he really went out and got Kirk Cousins as if Kirk Cousins was Aaron Rodgers. I don't get what they look at. I just don't get it.
Mornings from 5 to 7 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Thursday, October 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 87. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU Athletics Executive Chef Michael Johnson joins us at 7:30 to answer your munchie questions. Get them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Ben Mintz stops by to give us his six-pack of picks at 8 a.m. Chad Durbin talks World Series at 8:30. ESPN's Andrew Lopez talking Stan Van Gundy hire at 9. And Matt Flynn joins the show at 9:30. Follow the show today on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live over at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it, Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online at 104.5ESPN.com. Good Thursday morning to you, Jordy Collada, T-Bob Hebert, Matthew Musso, Danny Cardenas. Here with you until 10 a.m. this morning. Andrew Lopez, who covers the Pelicans, will be here in an hour reacting to Stan Van Gundy being the next call up as head coach for the Pelicans.
2 hours? 9 a.m.? Yeah. Cool. I thought
right?
you said 1 hour. I was just saying 2 hours, right?
I bet.
No, we're good.
8:30 this morning, we'll hear from Chad
I know you're so
Durbin.
excited about the Van Gundy hire.
Hate
you
the hire,
can't
T.
keep your heads.
I hate the hire.
I know you do, but let's.
I hate the hire.
All I ask you today.
Let that be on the record 2 minutes into the show.
Okay, I will let you state your case, and then I just ask that you keep an open mind as I state mine, because I got some numbers that I think will get you a little excited. Okay, make you feel a little better.
Numbers.
Numbers matter.
Just watch what's happening on the floor with him.
Okay.
7:30 this morning, food questions. Chef Michael Johnson. Chef put out a post yesterday on Facebook around some pasta that looked incredible. We'll ask him about it coming up here at 7:30. If you've got food questions, remember #munchies inside of the Bayou Ford chat app. That's where we are on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN station. Make sure you like, subscribe, get notified for everything that happens there. If you don't mind, share it with a friend. Subscribe to the Off the Bench page. Coach Orgeron had his radio show. Hell of a day for the press in LSU football yesterday. The news cycle was buzzing with LSU news as the Tigers were in it, as SI is reporting some self-imposed penalties and rules violations. Ogeron had his radio show last night. We got sound coming up. Here they are in your headlines on this Thursday, October 22nd, presented every day by Barbecue Guys.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
LSU football Sports Illustrated reported on Wednesday that the Tigers are self-imposing penalties for rules violations after an investigation uncovered booster payments to the father of a former player, Vidal Alexander, and for Odell Beckham Jr. giving out cash to players after the national championship game last season. The report also notes an impermissible recruiting contact by head coach Ed Ogeron in January of 2019. The Tigers will forfeit 8 scholarships over a 2-year period and will reduce recruiting visits, evaluations, and communications with potential players. Beckham Jr. is also banned from LSU facilities for 2 years. Ed Ogeron last night was talking about this South Carolina team that the Tigers face at 6 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
You know, their offensive line is well coached, and they run the football very well. They can run the football from 21 personnel, from 12 personnel, 11 personnel. You're actually going to see 2 backs in the backfield, which you guys have seen a lot here before I was the coach. And as a pro-style offense, you'll see 12 personnel. Their quarterback knows how to handle the offense. He comes from Colorado State. But talking about the offensive line, they're great on double teams. I think they're very strong against the run. They've struggled in some pass protection and some one-on-one, but I'm sure they're going to get that short up.
Look, LSU has struggled stopping the run terribly this year, but a lot of time that's been more due to confusion than just being bad, although it's definitely a mixture of both. If you're talking about a get-right game for this LSU defense, and I'm not saying they're going to like shut them down or anything along those lines, but a not be terrible, a get-right, get some confidence game, this more old school, pro-style South Carolina offense is something that Bo Pelini should feel much more comfortable in defending. So if you can't get it right this weekend, then I don't know where you go from here. So I'm expecting big things out of LSU's defense this weekend.
Jalen Brooks, transfer wide receiver for South Carolina, received his notice waiver yesterday. He's eligible to play this weekend. Muschamp reacted yesterday in the SEC teleconference what the big wideout means to the Gamecock offense.
We got word from the NCAA this morning that Jalen Brooks would be immediately eligible. Jalen's worked extremely hard. Really excited for him. I appreciate the NCAA's decision. I want to really thank Ray Tanner, Jeff Whitehead, and Chance Miller on the job that they did for us and working to continue to get the information the NCAA needed in order to make him eligible. So really happy for this young man. He's worked extremely hard. He's never complained. We're doing so much good work right now. He's been with our offense a lot, so we expect him to contribute on Saturday.
Ogeron yesterday morning on the teleconference updated the status of his quarterback position.
We don't think that Miles Brennan's going to be able to play. It's still not 100% yet, but he's very questionable. Max and TJ have looked very good in practice. We'll make a decision at the end of the week.
One more from Muschamp yesterday talking about preparing for quarterbacks.
90% Mike Thomas, or even like an 85% Mike Thomas, helps this offense feel so much more rhythmic and efficient than what it has so far this season.
Saints are 7.5-point favorites coming off the bye to host Carolina this weekend. The bye gave Thomas a little extra time to get right. Here is Sean Payton talking about Teddy Bridgewater and what he sees from Carolina's offense.
Well, look, it starts with all the things we saw. He's got an outstanding skill set. He moves. He's got good arm strength. He's accurate. He's a fantastic leader, and players play hard, when they're with him. But it starts with his ability. And I think that you're seeing him extend plays. He does it, throwing, although he'll tuck it if he needs to. And, he spread the ball around well.
Saints and Panthers this Sunday from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. 3,000 fans will be in the dome, taking that in for the noon start. After a lengthy search process, the New Orleans Pelicans have found their head coach on Wednesday. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and Andrew Lopez reported that the franchise had agreed to a deal with Stan Van Gundy. Per The Athletic, Shams had it as a 4-year deal with Stan Van Gundy. Here is Brian Windhorst, jumping on the jump yesterday, talking about J.J. Redick being a big part of the recruiting process here.
J.J. Redick, I have been told, played a big role here. J.J. played for him in New Orleans, was a big part of the background and recruiting process. And so I don't know if it's going to work out, but I know that Stan Van Gundy is an excellent coach, and I suspect the Pelicans will get better with this hire.
One more from Windhorst giving his opinion on it.
There is just no room for gambling here. And Mark Jackson and Jason Kidd's resumes are a little shaky compared to Stan Van Gundy's. And so it may not end up working out, but this was the safest bet that they could make on a guy who they feel can get this turned in the right direction. Because to be honest with you, with a young player, even going into his second year, it gets late fast. This hire was so valuable, so important.
Yeah, look, there are multiple levels to winning, and this Pelicans team just needs to learn how to be consistently above 500 and make the playoffs. Like, that is step number one. And I think SVG, I mean, dude, we can at least agree that Jason Kidd or Mark Jackson would have been far less exciting hires.
Well, T, that's what's most disappointing for me, that Zion Williamson going into year 2 built around this team that features a guy like Brandon Ingram, who is a perennial all-star, that the 3 selections as head coach was Stan Van Gundy, Jason Kidd, and Mark Jackson.
They did interview 9 different guys.
No, I know they did, but I mean the 3 finalists for this job at this point for Zion is those cats.
They wanted Ty Lue as well, but they couldn't get him. I mean, we'll get into SVG's numbers. Here's JJ Redick's quote though. Quote, Stan is probably the best coach I've ever played for in the NBA. He was so prepared. He worked so hard. He took such responsibility on what he could control, and he was great for that. We'll get into it. If nothing else, what are the Pelicans abysmally bad at? Defense and turning the ball over. If nothing else, he will finally fix those problems, and as a consumer, that will make the basketball so much better to watch.
Tampa Bay Rays knotted up the World Series with a 6-4 win over the Dodgers in Game 2 last night. Rest day in the World Series. We'll get a preview coming up from Chad Durbin at 8:30 this morning. They're back at it tomorrow for Game 3 in Dallas.
Sorry, Danny. Rough night for your Dodgers last night. Don't worry, though, brothers. A lot of baseball left.
Those are your headlines here on this Thursday edition of Off the Bench.
OTB headlines are presented daily by Barbecue Guys. Remember, the most popular grill on the market is Blaze Grills. Blaze Grills is headquartered in Baton Rouge. Shop on the web at barbecueguys.com.
Jump inside of the Bayou Ford chat app. Chef Michael Johnson coming up here in 15 minutes. You got food questions about the weekend or about something that you're preparing tonight, jump inside the Bayou Ford chat app with the hashtag Munchies. And we'll answer your questions at 7:30 this morning. Sound from Ogeron, sound from Sean Payton, a little opinion on Stan Van Gundy, all coming up here in hour number 1. Don't forget, Ben Mintz, freshly hired to Barstool Sports, on his way to Oxford, Mississippi, or he may be in Oxford, Mississippi. I think his last hoorah there.
I think him and Playboy Marty might be taking off after Hester and Hanny today.
Oof.
So that may be the final. I don't know if it's the final hurrah, but they're going to be in Oxford for the weekend.
We'll get a preview of the weekend in Oxford, and we'll get a 6-pack of winners for Mincy coming up here at 8 o'clock. Off the Bench, driven and powered by All-Star Toyota every day.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brought to you daily by All-Star Toyota. Remember, All-Star Toyota is online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. You can shop the inventory there. If you're looking for an SUV like a Highlander or a 4Runner, you can get into one of those today. If you're looking for a hybrid model, it's all good. You can shop a 2020 Camry right now. T-Bob just leased a Camry from All-Star Toyota. Remember, it's online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. So look, if you're looking to lease, looking to buy, they have great deals. Go check out the October deals. They are fantastic. We're talking about 0% APR financing for 60 to 72 months on a lot of these different vehicles. They have a great tire deal right now. You buy 3 tires, you get the 4th one for just $1. Ask for my guy Richard Jones. When you go in there, he can help guide you to your new car like he did me. So not only do they have the best deals, but they have the best customer service, and they have the best selection. Even Toyota certified used vehicles where you get things like a warranty. Go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Do you know the proper way to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in your office? We do. We're Jani-King, a leader in the cleaning industry for over 30 years, and we've developed comprehensive.
Tune into a Wednesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Roscoe. The guys are live from City Slice Pints and Pizza from 6 to 8 p.m. Come join us right outside the campus of LSU or tune into 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, remember, coming up here at 8 a.m., Ben Mentz will stop by and give us a gambling six-pack of winners. We'll also hear from Chef Michael Johnson coming up here in 12 minutes on Off the Bench. OTB presented daily by All-Star Toyota. Remember, shop them online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. We will answer your food questions with Chef Michael Johnson coming up here in just a couple of minutes on OTB. So hashtag Munchies is what you need to get inside of the Bayou Ford chat app as we will answer your questions here on Off the Bench. But daily, we're brought to you by AccuTemp. Remember, over at AccuTemp, AccuTempBR.com is where they are online. Shout out to my guys the other day, Jason Rogers, Jeffrey Humphreys, Tony Guidry, Jeremy Humphreys, and Tony Guidry, the crew over at the house installing the new AC. I'm telling you, man, it's a brand new house over there. As the new air condition that was installed on Tuesday.
So did they tell you that you needed a new one, or were you like,
So they
want
came
a
in
new
for
one?
a consultation a couple of weeks back and said, look, here's the deal. You're about a year and a half, 2 years away from really needing one. What I can do, what Accutemp did, was send a design consultant out and gave me a couple of options of, look, here's better, best, the elite option of what you can choose from. I went with the middle tier option. They came in, put it in, took them a half a day, really a full day to install it. But yes, the entire process was very simple, from the consultation to the design to the installation. Everything along the way was fantastic. You can find out for yourself the customer service. And don't forget, this weekend with the Tiger Tune-Up, LSU is at home. So at halftime this week, if you text to 31996, if you text halftime to that number, you'll get half off of your Tiger Tune-Up when they come out and service your AC or your heater. Whatever you decide. So check it out online, AccutempBR.com, and don't forget about the Tiger Tune-Up coming up on Saturday. Tough PR day for LSU
on multiple fronts.
Absolutely on Wednesday. This was a public relations day that not only affected the athletic program as a whole, but affected probably the most powerful individual in the state of Louisiana, which is the seat of the LSU head football coach. Yesterday, it was reported by Sports Illustrated that LSU has been charged with level 3 violations with Odell Beckham Jr. And a violation dating back to the Our Lady of the Lake investigation with John Paul Funes with impermissible benefits to Vidal Alexander's dad. LSU yesterday self-imposed penalties related to that investigation and the improper payments, and they self-banned or took away 8 scholarships over 2 years. They'll reduce recruiting visits, evaluations, and communications, and they have banned Odell Beckham Jr. from the football facilities and the program pretty much for 2 years. So from a recruiting standpoint, when I look at this is a big hit as far as losing the ability to evaluate recruiting visits, communications, and then you take maybe the most powerful face in recruiting that LSU can offer to a future student athlete, or somebody from a future student athlete that attracts them to LSU on the NFL level. Nobody is more powerful in that probably right now than Odell Beckham Jr. And what he means to the recruiting department of LSU football. So to take him away from that for 2 years is a big hit after what he did in giving out the $2,000 in cash to players on the field after the 42-25 win over Clemson. So that was tough, sure, and then just a PR nightmare for the head coach in some of the stuff in his personal life coming out and making it to the internet. And you know, that just catching on like wildfire.
And that is the main thing to me there is with the latter subject that you're talking about. It's not whatever anybody wants to do in their personal life is what it is, but it does seem like the situation's been handled with some PR missteps, right? And now there's like kind of personal photos floating around. Whole situation feels just very greasy with how involved like outside people are getting and kind of perusing through it, trying to like investigate all these people's personal lives. But unfortunately, when it comes to public relations, Jordy, like fair doesn't really come into play. It just is what it is. When you are a very public figure, these are the sort of things that you have to deal with and that you have to learn to work through and that you have to learn to protect against maybe in the future. So yeah, from a PR standpoint, it was not good yesterday, and then this obviously is all exacerbated by the fact that you're 1-2. Your $2 million hire does not look good at all right now, and you're going into a South Carolina game where you're going to be starting true freshmen in, you know, I don't know if a must-win exists this season, but this is pretty close to one in terms of needing to kind of shore up investor confidence at this point.
Yeah, it's a hell of a week for LSU. I mean, when you think about the term "must win" in sports, and you can't just throw that around every week, but because you know it's one of those sports terms that it feels like it's a must-win every week in the SEC.
Yeah, you
But
can
this
definitely feel that way for college football fans.
this
for sure.
Saturday for LSU feels as close to a must-win just to keep the distractions and the snowball effect
block out the noise
from really taking shape here because of what's going on with the public relations of just this week.
Well, how about
with
this?
LSU football.
Even like just from a pure football standpoint, if you want to go 4-6 or 5-5, you have to win this game.
Yeah.
Like if you don't win this game, then suddenly projections, the math is going to start bumping you down to. If you don't win this game, then I believe 4-6 becomes your most likely record, with 3-7 then being much more likely than even 5-5. So like, yeah, just in terms of finishing at 500 this year, beating South Carolina is critical.
So here is Ogeron last night on his radio show talking about the Tigers in preparation and how they feel going into Saturday.
First of all, we got to stop the run. We got to be in our gap fits. We got to be simplified. We got to tackle. This running back runs the football very well. We got to be in position in the passing game. We got to let the ball be thrown in front of us and tackle. We can't let the ball be thrown behind us. And then when we have busted coverages, to have a touchdown. I think if we eliminate the middle assignments, put our guys in the best position to make plays, play more zone because everybody's running crossing routes on us, we should be fine.
Todd Jones inside the Bayou Ford chat app asks, Jordy, Dickie V is on line 2. Cool. Send him through. When they come through with something with substance on LSU basketball, let me know.
So I had a question on that real quick. So the basketball stuff got sent to the IARP, right? The independent review process. And LSU was trying to get football extricated from that. Did football end up getting sent there as well?
Here's your Hail Mary. Here's your self-imposing taking away 8
Well, I knew, yes,
scholarships.
I knew they were doing that to avoid further NCAA function. I'm trying to remember. If anybody can help me out because this story's done so many twists and turns. I'm trying to remember if
I don't
back
think that
a couple months
I don't think
ago.
if they've ruled upon whether or not they're going to be,
Because basketball's
if
in
they're-
the process for sure.
basketball's in the process of going to that
Like-
independent review.
Yes.
I don't think that a decision has been made on if they'll be heard together, football and basketball.
Do you think that these self-imposed penalties are enough? Because like you said, this is LSU offering up, as Scott Ravelli put it, a pound of flesh to the NCAA, and the NCAA now has to decide whether or not they think it's sufficient. One thing working in LSU's favor now is that, and this is a detail that gets lost, I think, in a lot of the headlines, and really, I mean, the actual offensive part of all of this gets lost in the Odell Beckham headline. The Odell thing is what it is, and that sucks for recruiting probably more than anything. And it sucks for Odell because he has a great relationship with his school. But, like, the greasy part is stealing money from hospitals and paying players and paying for flights and all these other things.
Well, he wasn't paying players. It was going to his
Vidal's
personal
parent.
Right.
Yeah, excuse me. Vidal's father, who was, reportedly had a no-show job. But the key detail is that was in the Miles Oliva era, right? Not in the Ogeron Woodward era. So I wonder, does the NCAA take that detail into account when levying punishment?
I mean, when you look at the when you look at what they gave up, it's significant.
So they go from 85 to 81 scholarships. To be fair, it's such a crazy year this year. They're at about 70 scholarship players right now. They can still sign 25 players per year, which is nice. But like the thing is, to me, Jordy, and I agree with you, is that overall right now, LSU's one saving grace for the program-wide momentum is recruiting. They did a lot of great work in this offseason. Coming into the year, they were perfectly positioned to get guys like Corey Foreman and Mason Smith. Like they were going to maybe threaten the number one class this year. They're already the number one class for 2 years ahead. So if that's where like your greatest hope and brightest spot is right now, well, all of these penalties you would think could kind of threaten that in a way, not just because the visits and lost scholarships, but as you said, is losing Odell for 2 years the biggest knock on recruiting out of any of these sanctions?
I mean, think about the last 2 seasons. LSU has received personal gifts from Odell Beckham Jr., whether it was 2 years ago when they received the all-yellow Odell Beckham Jr.'s inaugural shoe with Nike, or last year during the playoff run before the Oklahoma game when they received the exclusive Air Maxes from Odell Beckham Jr. that, he just popped in and was able to deliver that to the LSU football team. If you don't think that image and that video of Odell coming in to a team meeting and giving every player on the team and every member of the team his own personal shoe, if you don't think that that means something to a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kid about to make a college decision, man, that has huge waves of impact as far as recruiting goes. And as T-Bob laid out, one thing that you take away, if there is a silver lining to the 1-2 start and just the disarray that it looks like it's in right now, is that recruiting has been pretty steady.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it seems like
That needs
every
to be
service,
protected at all
absolutely,
costs,
you have
dude.
got to protect that asset, because that's the lifeline. That's the bloodline of the competition. That's what's happening on Saturday. You can't get to championship status, to steady championship elite type program without being able to win in February too. I mean, you got, Georgia is a great example of winning in February and can't figure it out in December, but you've got to win in February, because you won't have a shot in December if you're not at the table in recruiting. So we'll see, man. We'll talk more about it. We've got sound from Ogeron, Muschamp to come up, but we'll answer your food questions with Chef Michael Johnson next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Coys Diesel, online, coysdiesel.com, light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel trucks. Coys Diesel can help you out today. They're on Airline Highway out in Gonzales. Remember, no matter your make and model, doesn't matter if it's a Chevy, a Dodge, or a Ford, they can get to you and help. In fact, 24-hour roadside assistance. If you're broken down on the side of the road in a light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck, Coys Diesel can get to you today, online at coysdiesel.com.
CoysDiesel.com, COYS Diesel.com, for all of your diesel vehicle needs, right? It's right there in the name. Why would you go anywhere else? How about customer service? You break down, 24/7 emergency roadside assistance. You heard that right, 24/7 emergency roadside assistance. If you want to just schedule service, if you're looking to shop by part, shop by vehicle, right there, you see it on the screen. They got a great drop-down menu, year, make, model. They have it all. Also, you can get NOS systems installed, which I can't get over because that's crazy. Go to CoysDiesel.com, CoysDiesel.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey, football fans, T-Bomb here, reminding you that Hooters is your headquarters for football. If you can't get in, they still got the Hooters girls, the TVs, the wings, the beer, everything you love about game day. But what if you're watching at your house? Maybe having some people over. You don't feel like cooking? Well, great. Hooters, they have your back. You download the Hooters app. You'll get a free app, and then you go and you pick up the food. You bring it home. Everybody loves you because you got Hooters wings, and game day, it's a match made in heaven. Download the app. Get Hooters to go. Hooters, your headquarters for football.
Hi, this is Charles Hannegriff. Join me and Jacob Hester for the next edition of Hanging with Hester and Henny. More on the Stan Van Gundy hire with the Pelicans. And LSU inches closer to their game with South Carolina. We'll talk about the quarterback situation. Noon weekdays, Hanging with Hester and Henny, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Chef Michael Johnson is back on OTB. Brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys is your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Send your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag Munchies.
Hashtag Munchies inside of the Bayou Ford chat app, and we'll answer your questions with Chef Michael Johnson, just like we do every Thursday here on Off the Bench. Chef, good morning. How are you? Yes, sir. Chef, you got us?
I'm well. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Chef, what does artisan mean? I saw artisan bread.
Yeah, usually it means kind of like boutique, like something that's handmade and it's not mechanical. It means that it's kind of human made and it's not mass produced. So, there's artisan cheese that come from small boutique places, artisan bread. It's just outside of the normal and had special attention paid to it pretty much.
The pasta post yesterday looked incredible.
Oh yeah.
Whew. Give me the backstory on that. You added T-Bob and me on a couple of pasta pictures yesterday.
Any respectable Italian chef in Seattle had their own pasta making place, and the difference between fresh pasta and dried pasta is a world, right? So instead of it being hard and rigid, like the stuff that you buy at the store, it has the shelf life. You have to keep it refrigerated, and it's soft. So it has higher water content, and this pasta actually doesn't have egg in it, so it's vegan. But the mouthfeel when you boil it only takes like 3 minutes to cook.
Wow!
And you can cook it right in the sauce. You don't have to cook it. You don't necessarily have to cook it in water ahead of time. Like you can put it in a thin sauce and let the pasta, let the starch of the pasta kind of seep into the sauce a little bit. Let the sauce absorb into the pasta, and the mouthfeel on fresh pasta is so much softer. It's not that firm kind of. I don't know. When you try it and you get it, it's incredible. And I've been looking for a proper place for the better part of a year and a half to source pasta, and even to the point where I considered making my own. It's a pretty large investment up front, and so just listening to us talk on the radio, somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I got a place for you. They're keeping their employees busy by making pasta down there, and they have it for sale, and you can buy it in bulk." And so here we go.
Oh, hell yeah,
That
dude.
story-
OTB, let's go.
That story combined with that visual, if you're watching on YouTube right now, I mean, look at that pasta with that story from the chef here at 7:38 on your Thursday morning on OTB, brought to you by All-Star Toyota.
Goosebumps right now. My
Wow,
nipples got
big.
hard. That's crazy. Like literally, wow, unbelievable.
Turn a fan on.
Hashtag Munchies. I need a cold shower. Hashtag Munchies. What are capers and what are they used for?
Capers are good.
So capers are actually an unblossomed piece of the caper bush, and it's an unblossomed flower, and they take them and pickle them, and it's some salty little pickled juicy piece of heaven, if you ask me. I love capers.
Me too.
I like to deep fry them and use them for garnish. It kind of removes some of the moisture out, and they get crunchy. But not quite as acidic that way. But if you're cooking fish, capers are a great topping. Put them in like tapenades and stuff like that. I don't know. They have a purpose. You can replace salt, in a dish if you don't want to put salt in them with a little caper.
So that's why they work so well in like the salmon and lox and everything. It's like your salt substitute
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right.
Hashtag Munchies, best heart-healthy sausage to use in red beans. Is heart healthy? Yeah, is heart healthy? Is that a paradox?
I believe that's what we call an oxymoron.
An oxymoron. That's what I was looking for. Hashtag Munchies. How does Campbell's get the potatoes so small in their vegetable soup? Or are those lentils?
I imagine there's people with smaller hands,
There you go, T-Bob.
What are lentils?
Lentils are it's a legume. They're small legumes that it's kind of akin to a bean, I guess, but they're smaller even so. And like they have what's called a caviar lentil that's literally the size of a fish egg. That it's just a legume, and they cook up nice, and they're kind of different from normal beans.
Hashtag Munchies. Chef Johnson, do the players eat soup? And if so, what is the most nutritious soup?
Yeah, so we kind of do soups through the seasons, right? Seasonally, we didn't have soups over the summer necessarily. With COVID, it was kind of extraordinary circumstances, but we just brought soups back. And I think nutritious-wise, a clear soup is always going to have less fat in it, I think. And the more vegetables you put in it, I think that you're going to have. So I don't know one particular soup. Like chicken noodle soup, obviously, is going to be nutritious. It's got starch, it's got protein, and it's got vegetables in there. So putting vegetables in the liquid and not cooking the heck out of them and letting them have a little bit of firmness to them. Cooked vegetables release their nutrients if you don't cook them too far. So you don't want to overcook your vegetables. You don't want to overcook proteins. So the most nutritious soup is a well-cooked soup, I think.
Chef, I explained my transition from lettuce to cabbage on my sandwiches. I've now made the transition from lettuce to cabbage on my tacos, which are fantastic. Hashtag Munchies from a listener. Chef, what's the best way to cook cabbage?
Braising it, cooking it over like a dry heat in a skillet first, and then adding a little pork stock or even chicken stock or veggie stock if you're vegan or vegetarian. But dry heat, get the brown caramelized color on it, and then put a little splash of liquid in there. I like to put pork fat in my cabbage when I'm braising it for good and long. But there's different types of cabbage too. Like Napa cabbage, you can put that into a skillet and saute it. It's good and done in 30 seconds if you're got your game on.
Wow. So is there equivalent? Like, how we love butter lettuce on this program? Is there a cabbage equivalent to butter lettuce?
So bok choy is kind of in the realm of cabbage. It's kind of in between. It's a little bit lettuce, a little bit cabbage.
Okay.
But I really like bok choy. It has a firmness at the end, and then a delicate soft leaf. And you cut the ends, the firm pieces, put them in the skillet and saute them, and then finish with the leaves, and don't cook them very long. You have different textures in the dish. And I like bok choy a lot.
Hashtag Munchies. Are you a fan of Thanksgiving leftovers?
Absolutely. I'm a fan of leftovers, period. Food tastes different after it's been cooked and chilled. And, I saw your post the other day about morning breakfast, and I love fried chicken in the morning. I don't know what it is.
Do you heat it up or are you eating it cold out of the fridge?
No, I'm caveman cold, absolutely.
Okay. Cold chicken's pretty damn good, though, out of the fridge. I'm not going to lie. Hashtag Munchies. What's the secret ingredient in your red sauce?
So a lot of times I will actually take like a whole lemon and puree it into a red sauce, and it adds a little acidity.
The whole lemon.
The whole lemon. You want to get the seeds out because you don't want the seeds in there. But there's oils in the pith that open up and really add a lot of character. The pith adds a little bit of bitterness, and then the juice itself adds a little acidity. And like if I'm making a Creole sauce, depending on the volume, obviously, but I'll put a whole lemon in and puree it in.
Hashtag Munchies, back to breakfast. Best oatmeal, old-fashioned or steel cut?
Steel cut all day long. Wow. Yep. There's just a difference in the texture, and it doesn't get as gummy. It just holds its body longer, and I don't know. I steel cut all day.
Sticking with breakfast. Hashtag Munchies, cream of wheat or grits?
Grits. I'm not a cream of wheat fan at all. It would be a tough morning for me to eat cream of wheat.
Hashtag Munchies, what cut of meat should I use for a beef stew?
I like to use top sirloin. It's kind of lean. You can cook it long. It's gonna hold well together. It's a good cut of meat. You can also use brisket though. I mean, brisket's cheap right now. You can buy brisket for cheaper than a lot of other cuts of meat. You know, like $4 or $5 a pound, when other things are $5 or $6 a pound. And you know, for me, it's about the value of the meat, the texture of the meat, and brisket lends itself well to long cooking times, and it's got fattiness to it too, so that it doesn't dry out. So if you don't like the sirloin or if you don't like roast, brisket's a good way to go.
Hashtag Munchies, best and worst Halloween candy.
Oh, best. I'm a Snickers guy. I like them out of the freezer. So if I get a Snickers, you gotta have a happy guy. Worst, I think there's a long list of crap. I don't know. Those little foamy peanut butter things are awful, and I don't know.
What side of the aisle is Almond Joy on? Good or bad?
You know, I'm not a big coconut guy, right? So I will tolerate it. So I would say it's somewhere in the lower end, but then in the middle-ish low.
Usually, Almond Joy is a polarizing candy. You love or hate it. T-Bob's the only one on this staff that loves it. Everybody else hates it.
I love coconut.
Hashtag Munchies. Is apple juice good for you?
You know, you got to look at the label. If it's you know, made from concentrate and full of sugar, I don't know that that's good for you. You know, the good pressed juices, like fresh juices, are absolutely good for you. But you really have to pay attention to the sugar and the contents of it.
Hashtag Munchies, are you a fan of Hot Pockets? And if so, have you ever burned your mouth?
Oh, God, I thought everybody had done that.
Were you in college?
But probably last week, to be honest. There's something about it when it's steaming, you just got to bite into it.
Yeah. The blue collar, I know, lava hot. On
Hashtag
the inside,
Munchies, best whole grain bread to buy.
You know, I used to like Dave's. I forget
Dave's Killer Bread. I'm a big Dave's fan. I'm all on that.
Yeah. Great story behind it. At least there was for a while. I think Dave got in trouble again or something. I don't know. But I like Dave's Killer Bread. It's pretty expensive. But, you know, if you look at the quality and the ingredients on it and the way it's structured, and then you look at something and you find another piece of bread that's similarly structured and textured and it's less expensive, you know, go for it. I like the grains in it. I like the whole grains in it. I like the seeds and the nuts on it and stuff, all that stuff.
Boys are back in Baton Rouge. Kickoff 6 o'clock on Saturday. I know that your staff and your schedule will be in overdrive. We always appreciate you squeezing us in here on Thursday. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chef.
There's Chef Michael Johnson checking in from LSU Food, and we will be back to close out hour one.
Off the Bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily here on OTB by Go Roof, online at GEAUXroof.com. Call this morning for your free professional estimate. Get in touch with Go Roof. It doesn't matter if you have residential, commercial, or you just need a repair up on the roof. The boys over at Go Roof can get you taken care of today. A brand new roof every single time. I'll tell you about that in a couple of seconds here. But 927-8300. Get the free quote today when you dial the number, 927-8300. If you're in the listening area, Baton Rouge, Hammond, New Orleans, Lafayette, doesn't matter. Give them a call, 927-8300 for your free professional estimate over at Go Roof.
Yeah, free being the key word there. Free professional estimate. 927-8300. They come out there. Maybe because maybe you don't know if you have a problem. You think you do. Maybe you just want peace of mind. You want to check on where your roof's at currently. They can do all of that for you. They'll give you that free estimate, and then you know exactly where you stand. You make a fully informed decision. Jordy, what do you get when you work?
Hey, a beautiful roof every single time.
Roosa!
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information.
Tune in Friday night for a full night of prep football coverage. It all starts at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview. Catholic High and East Ascension kick off at 7. And we wrap things up with a full 2 hours of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, CST, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, where the ladies at? Remember, Day 18 campaign encouraging women to perform self-breast exams.
Wrong news cycle to open up anything with where the ladies at. I will say that. I had no idea where you were going.
You wanted toes. T.
Where the ladies at?
1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. Our friend Whitney Bro is going through her own battle with breast cancer, and she has formed Day 18 campaign to be a voice of strength and a guiding light to you out there as she goes through her struggle. She does it with a smile on her face, encouraging others to perform their self-breast exams. Remember, on the 18th day of each month, set a calendar reminder for you in the listening audience to perform those self-breast exams, so you can find it before it finds you. Breast cancer is, as we said, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed in their lifetime. And Whitney Bro, who is a great friend of our show, and is putting up a fight of her own and encouraging you to join her at Day 18 campaign. If you've not followed them on social media, make sure that you do that before the day's over. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, they're everywhere. And she's everywhere. I saw on WBRZ they were having her on. Brandy B had her on to talk a little bit about the Day 18 campaign. So we always appreciate her stopping by here. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we got some winners headed your way. Ben Mintz, who is headed over to Oxford, Mississippi for a going-away party with his Rebels this weekend, is going to stop by. Him and Playboy Marty going to stop in here and give us a six-pack of winners. 8:30, we'll talk to Chad Durbin about this World Series. Also got to give our thoughts on Stan Van Gundy. We'll probably do that at 8:15 this morning as the Pelicans have found their guy. Lengthy search process for David Griffin and the crew. but they found Stan Van Gundy. Fourth job for Van Gundy. We'll talk about it coming up here on Off the Bench, as T-Bob loves the hire.
Love the hire.
As he comes in today with his Williamson jersey on, with Zion on.
Very on purpose. Celebrating the guy who's finally going to get
I didn't think it was an accident.
Zion and the team to the next level.
When you say next level, you think this is a championship level coach? Because
no,
I think this is
Pelicans have multiple
level.
Potentially, but I think the Pelicans have multiple levels that they need to get to before they can even start thinking about championships. The Pelicans talking about championships is like the Bengals talking about championships. We would never take them seriously if they did. So that's where my head is at. Like, whatever. If you want to say that this is Mark Jackson bringing the Warriors in a perennial playoff team and then Steve Kerr getting them across the finish line, I'm fine with that. I need those Mark Jackson years first, though. Like, I need to see this team become that consistent winner, play defense that doesn't look like they just don't give a damn at all, not turn the ball over as if it doesn't matter at all, which were all hallmarks of the Alvin Gentry era. I think that Van Gundy's the man for this job. And I'm telling you, Jordy, keep an open mind. When we get into the numbers, Van Gundy's resume is fantastic. And by far the worst part of his resume is in Detroit.
Gotta be.
And the real problem there, he had a Bill O'Brien issue. He made himself GM as well. Like, he's not a good GM. He's a good head coach. Bill O'Brien, not a good football coach, a good head coach, right? Or excuse me, not a good GM, a good head coach. So it's like, if you combine the skill set of a Trajan Langdon and David Griffin, in the front office, then with the skill set of Van Gundy on the court and the talent the Pelicans have, it's exciting. It's very exciting. So we'll get into it because you got numbers that are going to convince you.
Hour 2 next. Off the Bench, presented every day by All-Star Toyota. Come back with us.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Ochsner. Remember the sports medicine program over at Ochsner. They got 3 locations, New Orleans, Covington, and in Baton Rouge. The Grove Boulevard right here in the capital city. Stop in and see our friend Jeremy Burnham. Dr. Burnham is over there. He is one of a ton of orthopedic surgeons, primary care, sports medicine physicians, 80 highly trained, qualified athletic trainers, performance training coaches, sports medicine assistants, and navigators. They've got it all over at Ochsner Sports. Remember, online, ochsner.org is where you can learn about all the facilities. But if you're in our listening audience, Baton Rouge, Covington on the North Shore, right here in Baton Rouge, experience Ochsner today.
Ochsner.org, Ochsner.org. It's not just injuries, though. You want to talk about getting bigger, stronger, faster? Check out Ochsner Performance Training. You're in junior high, high school. You want the same training regimens that the pros engage in, the same level of detailed coaching facilities. Ochsner has it all here, North Shore and New Orleans. Go to Ochsner.org, Ochsner.org.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This was us 20 years ago. Since then, we've grown to over 200 employees. We've helped over 100,000 people purchase, build, renovate, or refinance over $17 billion in loans. We make the mortgage process easy and convenient. Apply online or at one of our local branches. If you're looking to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, go to gmfsmortgage.com to see how we can help change your life today.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, October the 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 87. In case you missed hour one of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Still to come here on Off the Bench, Ben Mintz joins us next with his six-pack of picks. Chad Durbin talks World Series at 8:30. Andrew Lopez is talking Stan Van Gundy hire for the Pels at 9, and Matt Flynn joins the show at 9:30. Follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live over at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Interact inside the Bayou Ford chat, and make sure you're subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channel. Set notifications because new content is posted there daily. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2 off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online at 104.5ESPN.com. Thursday morning to you. Answered your food questions 30 minutes ago. Here with Chef Michael Johnson. That'll be a part of today's podcast. Remember, everything is podcasted here on Off the Bench, brought back to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Carriages on the corner of Jefferson and Old Hammond. Been here since 1982 in Baton Rouge, on Instagram and Facebook. You're going to the game on Saturday. Remember, you want some game day options, alternate logos for LSU. Stop in and see Will and the crew over at Carriages. The best, man. The best. Online, carriagesbr.com. Hour 2, we'll talk World Series with Chad Durbin coming up in 30 minutes. Ben Mintz, live from Oxford. Whew! Category 5 touching down in Oxford, Mississippi with Playboy Marty and Benjamin Mintz, now of Barstool Sports, set to make his residence in New York City. Before that, couple of going away parties. Up to North Louisiana, partied with his crew from Monroe, Shreveport. Told the cronies down here in Baton Rouge, sayonara. Now off to Oxford, Mississippi, where Mintz spent a better part of a decade poisoning the youth, poisoning his brain and his body, only to shed it off and now get a clean mind and soul before he goes and works for Dave Portnoy, the Prez, and Barstool Sports. It is great to have you aboard here on this Thursday morning, Mincy. How are you feeling? Have you slept, or are we pulling an all-nighter here?
Man, the all-nighter days are over for me. Look, we still have a good time at 37, but we're living that balanced, clean life. But got up to Oxford last night, went to an amazing dinner at snack bar, and I'm on the square right now drinking some coffee. It's a beautiful morning in Oxford. ready to bring the great people of Baton Rouge to the state of Louisiana some winners.
Hey, so
The welcome
Minty,
committee over there in the square, Ben Mintz and his coffee here at 8 a.m.
we were talking on the phone yesterday. Describe what Oxford has really meant to you your entire life so that people can really grasp just what this means to you to be drinking coffee in the square right now.
Well, what's interesting about Oxford, we call it the bubble, because when you're up here, you're not in the real world. It's an escape from reality. It's just kind of, and anytime I've had like a big problem in life, like when I went back to Ole Miss in 2014 and 15 when I was 31, 32, I was honestly in a rut in life in New Orleans, needed to change it up. And then I came back this year after I got let go. That's part of this whole thing is I got let go in Bossier in mid-March. And now I'm going to work for Barstool. But I came up here for 3 months during COVID, and that was really when I reset as far as the healthy living stuff and started losing weight and getting on that grind. And, I lived up here from 01 to 09, playing poker, going to school. And so I've done about 10 years here. But the main thing is just like anytime I've been in trouble in life, Oxford's always been here for me as my safe haven. And I'd say it's probably more my home than anywhere. And, it's a really special place to me. And
No.
But they have bad service. I mean, that's the one thing about Oxford that you always hear. They have bad cell service.
Is he on C Spire?
Man, that was so sweet, too.
It
That was
was.
so emotional.
It was a great message.
But it seems like it's been his kind of port in the storm. Whenever things get a little too rough, the wind and the waves get a little too intense, Oxford's always there to provide a warm meal and a nice bed to sleep on. And now Minty, as he prepares to enter the incredibly turbulent waters of the Barstool Sports office where everything is filmed 24/7 and arguments are had, he once again is staying for a few nights in the port of his choosing.
Mintz, what's on the itinerary for the last couple of days here in Oxford? I mean, you pulling out some of the royalty, Wright Thompson, John Grisham going to be making some appearances?
Well, I'm trying to meet. I actually was DMing with Dave Portnoy, the prez, my new boss, which is crazy. But I told him, I said, look, heading to Oxford, going on everything in Ole Miss sports media. I've met with the athletic department already. We're all on the same page. And I'm going to Ole Miss Auburn, and Marty's coming up here tomorrow. And look for some fun 1-minute wild videos around famous Ole Miss places coming. I'm here to kind of try to set the whole thing on fire.
You got to get Lane Kiffin if they win.
Well, that's what we were talking about. Lane gets it, right? Lane gets the
Absolutely.
Barstool connection. Him and Lane and Minty will be tight before long.
Lane quote tweeted the celebration.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, so Lane's got Reb Talk with the voice of the Rebels, David Kellum, on the square tonight. I think there's going to have to be that's on the itinerary.
Mincy, you've got to crash that. Who's the host of that?
David Kellum, the voice of Ole Miss.
His job's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Oh man!
All right, Mincy, how are we feeling about this weekend selection?
Well, we were 3-3 last week, so we're 15-15.
All right.
It's been the fun road to 500. But feeling good. So I've got 3 college picks, and while we're on the Ole Miss train, hey,
why not?
Y'all know I always follow. Like it went 1-1 last week with Tampa Bay and Buffalo, but Ole Miss losing as a road favorite at Arkansas last week, coming off the Alabama game, letdown situation. Look, not making any, like Matt Corral played horrible, 6 picks. Barry Odom, nobody has raised their stock in college football more than what Barry Odom's done as Arkansas defensive coordinator. He held Ole Miss and Mississippi State to just nothing. I mean, shut them both down completely. And Arkansas may be the most improved team in the country, but bounce back spot here. The Rebels are getting 3.5 at home. And we say it all the time. Bo Nix sucks at quarterback. He's not good. He's not accurate. He doesn't take care of the football. Taking the Rebels plus 3.5. And, hey, look, got to like that extra half point. I mean, I'm probably worth half a point in the stadium to Ole Miss without training I'm going to be doing during this game. There's actually talk, too, Marty. Barstool does the Stool streams now where they, video people watching games and reactions.
Yeah.
We may be doing some of that from the stadium on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. The fan cave. Mincy, what's a play number 2?
Play number 2 is, okay, so Florida State beat North Carolina last week. And I know that was a big upset, but what I've seen out of them the last 4 years, 1 win's not enough for me to jump on this bandwagon. And everybody's on Florida State at Louisville this week. The line went from 6.5 to 4.5. And look, I know Louisville played an ugly game, but they still barely lost to Notre Dame last week who is an alleged top 5 team, but probably top 15. And I just am not buying Florida State just because they beat North Carolina. Louisville's only laying 4.5 at home. I think they're the better team. They're better coached, and they've got a better program right now. So I'm taking Louisville by 4.5. Holding off on the anointing oil on the Florida State Seminoles just off one good week.
Okay. So we got Ole Miss plus 3.5, Louisville minus 4.5. What's play number 3?
Man, play number 3 is one more ACC one, and this is just a fade on Virginia is horrible this year. I mean, they had a really good team last year. Well, I don't know. That's probably an overreach. But they made the Orange Bowl.
They were fun.
Bronco Mendenhall. Bryce Perkins is a good dual-threat quarterback. They're regressing a ton this year. They lost a ton off last year's team. I think Miami's going to beat the hell out of them. Virginia got spanked by Wake Forest last week, and I think De'Aaron King and the boys get an easy win here at home against Virginia. So that's my third one. Miami by 12.5 at home over Virginia. Night game. And then we're going to move to pro football. This is never it's not the most fun, sexy thing to say, but get ready. Like, so far this year, the NFL wasn't calling holding calls on the O-line. In the first 4 weeks, man, all these games were flying over the total. And, I'm a guy, y'all followed this for years. I mean, I'm a fan of taking the under. I mean, it's not the most fun thing to cheer for, hoping for people to get pinned inside the 5 and turnovers and all that. But, a lot of times it makes money. Well, I think we're finally seeing the last couple weeks the unders are coming back and kind of reverting back to the normal trend. So we got a few of them this week. And, guys, we finally get to go back to the tradition of the Bills under.
Wow. Okay.
Because they're playing Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Whose feet he has less footwork than me. I feel like he has sandbags on his feet.
Well, did y'all
really
see? So I actually caught it live. It was some of the few football that I got to watch last Sunday. But did you see Flacco scramble 28 yards backwards and turn a 3rd and 3 into a 4th and 31?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think this Jets team is one. If Darnold doesn't come back soon, they're one of the worst in NFL history. I mean, this is as bad as it gets. And Josh Allen, such a great start, but kind of come back to reality the last couple of weeks. It means we can come back to betting some Bills unders, and it's 45 this week. I don't know how the Jets scored 10 points. I really don't. But I'm not laying 13 with Buffalo on the road in pro football, so I'm going under 45 in Bills Jets.
Buffalo Jets.
All right, love it, Mincy. Play number 5.
Play number 5. Cowboys and Redskins.
Sorry.
Yeah. Cowboys and Redskins, the exciting Andy Dalton, Kyle Allen quarterback matchup here. Fun stuff. Boy, I was disappointed by Dallas Monday night, though. I mean, I knew Andy Dalton wasn't going to be Dak Prescott, but when you look at all the weapons they had, certainly expected more on offense than 10 points against Arizona, especially after Chandler Jones was out for the year. I thought that was really a disappointing effort, and I think we've got just like last week when I hit the under in the Redskins-Giants, we've got another crappy, lower-scoring, ugly NFC East game on our hands here, and it's 46. The total's still high because of how high-scoring the Cowboys games have been all year. We're going under 46 here. I think this game's going to be very ugly and boring, but somebody's got to win it, and I think it's going to be a lower-scoring game.
All right, so a couple unders. Last play of the day, Mincy. What you got, bruh?
I mean, we're going back. It may not be the most fun, but we've got a third under, and it's the Bears and the Rams. These teams have played a few times the last few years, and these games have all been 13-10. The Bears' defense is giving Jared Goff and the Rams' offense fits. And, man, I'm done betting against this damn Bears team, guys. They're trying to break me this year. I'm 0-4 on here betting Bears games. I had Detroit when they were up 23-6 and Swift dropped a touchdown. I had Atlanta when the Bears were down 26-10, and then I had the Bears against the Giants and missed a field goal to not cover. I've had it. I can't. And last week I had the Bears, Carolina against Chicago. Man, I just can't win. I'm doing pretty good this year on OTB as long as it's not a dang Bears game. But I'm a glutton for punishment.
But I'm not saying you're going back. You're touching the stove again, even though you keep getting burned.
Well, I've been getting burned betting against them on the game. We'll see what happens with this under. We're going to go with this under in this Bears-Rams 45. I think we've got a lower scoring game, another one on our hands here. So 3 under plays. I know that's maybe not the most fun, but look, I say this all the time. I try to do the very best I can for the great listeners of Louisiana, and I like the unders on the board. I think these overs are kind of reverting back to normal. So that's what I see on the board this week, and that's what we're doing.
All right, in the Minty six-pack first pick, we got 3 college, 3 NFL. Auburn at Ole Miss. Minty likes Ole Miss plus 3.5. Florida State at Louisville. Minty likes Louisville minus 4.5. Virginia at Miami. likes the Canes. Is it minus 12.5 there?
Yes, it's
Mincy?
12.5.
So big number
Yeah.
there. Then we move to the NFL. 3 underplays for you. Bills at Jets under 45. Cowboys at the Washington football team under 46. Bears at Rams under 45.
That's it. Now, thrilled to be in Oxford this weekend, though, man. I'm really, like I said, y'all look out for some fun videos coming around. Especially, I've got a good one planned for the Walk of Champions in the Grove. We'll let all the new Barstool Stoolies know the great Southern champion they just hired. It's going to be pretty fun.
Mincy, continued congratulations and victory laps here before you get to New York City, man. And hopefully this is a six-pack of winners. We'll check in next Thursday.
Yeah, we will. No, I'll be in Baton Rouge and New Orleans to finish off. This victory tour has been unreal. Monroe, Shreveport, Oxford. Still going to do a little Baton Rouge and NOLA before I fly out. I mean, I'm trying to milk this thing for all it's worth. Thank y'all for having me.
Mincy, would you like to comment on the fact that I am now leading you, Megan, and Otter in the D-Generation Dome?
Easy over there.
I have no comment.
Okay.
A lot of football left to play.
A lot of football left to play.
Lot of football
but
left
as we've
to
learned
play.
with LSU, if you don't celebrate when you're on top, then you never know what's coming next. So, like, if I don't enjoy this moment and rub their faces in it, what am I going to do? If I start losing again? Hell no. You got to do it while you're on top. It's basic.
Oh, I totally agree. Look, the whole act like you've been there before thing. I mean, come on. No, we should all celebrate when we do well in life. I think that attitude's for the birds. So, thank y'all for having me. And look, regardless, we're going to continue this off the bench six-pack. Even when I get to Barstool in New York, I want to keep this going. I can't say enough what my relationships with both of y'all and ESPN Baton Rouge have been for my career. Love everybody down there and really appreciate the support.
Give Oxford hell, for God's sakes. Give them hell, Mintz.
I will. Y'all take it easy, fellas.
Later, buddy.
Later, bro.
Ben Mintz checking in with his six-pack of winners here. Durbin just texted he's out at 8:30 of all weeks.
Derbs, you are a World Series champion, and the World Series is going on.
Our Hall
There
of
may
Fame.
not even be a World Series by this time next
There
week,
won't
right?
be. There won't be.
I mean,
Will
if you
there
get
be?
to 7 games, I think you could. But, like, and maybe, look, it's a good series. Derbs, this is...
I mean, the off the bench, the David Baker of off the bench.
Shame.
You know who David Baker is?
No.
You know that big guy that knocks on the door and tells the NFL guys that they made the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Shame.
All right,
Derbs.
I'll tell you why Stan Van Gundy was a terrible hire next.
Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Daily, we're brought to you by...
Oh, wait, we just got a text, though, from Terrio. Terrio says he's in.
In.
Are we out? Are we out with Derbs?
Absolutely.
In with Terrio?
This is off the bench, bro. We changed in a heartbeat. Ryan Terrio, 8:30 this morning, talking World Series. We're back, boys.
As he texts in, 2-time champ.
Yes.
Terrio just said, so there you go, dude. Even more
Hey,
experience.
Game 7 winner for Terrio. 2 of them. College World Series and Major League, bro. Who are we cheating here? All-Star. Sorry about that. All-Star Toyota as the great selection over there. Brand new car inventory, pre-owned and certified inventory over at All-Star. All of it you can shop online at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You can get them there. Stop in and see them. Goodwood and Airline. This is a twofer for Terrio. Not only get the baseball insight, but we steal a guest from Moscona. Online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You know them. I love them. I've double dipped. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering.
Tune into a Wednesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Roscoe. The guys are live from City Slice Pints and Pizza from 6 to 8 p.m. Come join us right outside the campus of LSU or tune into 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Two-time World Series champ.
Super Bowl champ.
Sorry.
He is a two-time super champion, though. Three-time, really.
Yeah. I mean, as far as baseball resumes go, Ryan Theriot he won at the high school
Well, actually,
level.
how many did he win in college?
He won one.
Okay,
And he scored the game.
I knew he scored the game winner.
the game-winning run in the ninth inning.
I remember
that. He walked. Did he walk to start that ninth? Or did he hit a single? Yeah, he hit a single in between second and short, in between short and third. Gets to first, steals second, gets to second. Cressy knocks him in on the base knock. So he wins Game 7 on a score there. Now, was it San Francisco that he scored the game-winning run in Game 7, or was it St. Louis where he scored the game-winning run in Game 7 to win a World Series? Either way, he's a two-time World Series champ.
I'll look it up.
I think it was San Francisco because the picture is in traction of him sliding safely through home plate. But as far as a baseball resume goes, the amount of time he played, the cities that he played in, Chicago, St. Louis, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, he was a winner in all of them. He won at LSU. He won at Broadmoor. Still to this day, his Little League youth team is the best youth team I've ever seen. The Squires Mets team, the Millerville Mets. Now, I know Durbin and Patrick Coogan and the Phillies team would have arguments there, and Ryan Theriot was actually the bat boy on that team. He's won at every level. So we'll talk to Theriot here. Did Chad Durbin get Wally pipped? I mean, people are asking inside the hut. I don't know.
These are the conversations that we're going to have. I mean, Chad,
internally, this is what's happening.
You leave the door open, and somebody's going to walk through it, like Stan Van Gundy.
And T, I hate that Stan Van Gundy is the guy, and I know that you love it. And I will say this before you lay out the numbers and before you give the support, because there were some things inside of your rant right before we went out at the top of the hour that make a lot of sense. From Stan Van Gundy being the guy right now. And I think defensively is the first thing that I agree on.
Yes.
Because I don't know if the Pelicans could be any worse.
It'd be tough to.
It would be tough.
The Alvin Gentry era in defenses and turnovers, like the lack of emphasis placed on those two things is borderline inexplicable.
And I just think the simple fact that he will get them back on defense and have them turned around before the ball crosses half court will give them an opportunity to be better defenders. Their energy level needs to pick up. The reason why I don't like the Van Gundy hire, and as I told you in hour one, it was more depressing to see that the finalists for this job were Mark Jackson, Jason Kidd, and Stan Van Gundy. I know that there was that there was a selection, there was a group that was interviewed for this space, but I would imagine that from an NBA realm that the Pelicans from presently the way that they sit, the way that they're made up right now, leadership, front office, and the roster have to be a top 3 job as far as attraction and attractiveness goes in the league.
I could see
Obviously, you have the centerpiece of Zion Williamson, the player.
You have an all-star now.
An all-star
wing, which is exactly what everybody in the world wants.
You got arguably the best two-way player in the league in Drew Holiday. If he's not, he's in the discussion of being that. Maybe Kawhi Leonard would be the guy, but Drew Holiday's right there.
I mean, Stan laid it out on the Zach Lowe's podcast earlier this summer, where he was just talking about, look, you got a bunch of guys that are under 25 with a ton of NBA experience and a ton of talent. They just play terrible defense.
And then you've got Trajan Langdon, Swin Cash, and David Griffin in the front office, which seems like a trinity that will attract talent and run it right. I was a little let down that Griffin settled on Van Gundy because to me it feels like a settle of a hire. Obviously, the Detroit time was horrendous. And like you said, he was given personnel responsibilities there, which seemed like that was the death of him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have personnel decision-making power here. But his time in Miami and his time in Orlando should be highlighted by the numbers and by the wins. But all I remember by those 2 stops, T, is discontent. Being run off after 21 games by Pat Riley to coach that Dwayne Wade and Shaquille O'Neal team, and then taking those Orlando Magic teams with Dwight Howard to the NBA Finals. I should remember those runs with Orlando and the way that they were playing with Howard, but all I remember is Van Gundy bickering with his best player in Dwight Howard in the public, in the media, and to me, that's a red flag here because this team has a nucleus of a lot of youth, a lot of energy, and a lot of talent, and you've got to be able to relate to them. And at 61 years old,
well, but that's one thing Van Gundy's really good at. You've heard him on DP show. You've heard him on DP show. If you've heard him talk on social issues, I actually have no question that he will be able to connect with the players.
He will be able to talk about them off the court.
Yeah.
He will be able to relate to them off the floor, T. I need somebody to motivate Zion Williamson right now.
You need somebody in there.
I need somebody motivating Lonzo Ball right now. I need somebody motivating Brandon Ingram, who is right now sitting at a crossroads in his career where are you going to be a year in, year out all-star? Are you going to be a flash in the pan? Right?
Okay.
Like, are you going to have somebody come in here and continue to motivate you, coach you, make you a better player when you're considered one of the elite in the league? You're at the top of your game. Can you get better?
Yeah. Well, and so there's a lot to get to here, and I'm going to try to squeeze it into a couple of minutes because we're running a little late. But, I would start with this. In terms of those being the finalists for the job, one thing that you have to understand is that this is a hire that the Pelicans had to get right? Like I said, I think there are levels to winning. The Pelicans need to start to take the first steps, right? So, like a young, more exciting hire. I mean, it's stuff that David Griffin's tried before in the past, right? Like maybe not young, but going with David Blatt, right? It kind of outside the box hire. It didn't work, but whatever. Like I'm down for high risk, high potential type of hires, but this is a Pelican team that, as you said, they're not really in a rebuild phase. Stan Van Gundy did not leave his nice analyst job to join a rebuild. Like this is a roster that can win immediately. And I think Stan Van Gundy accomplished that. Somebody in the chat says, well, if it's such a good job, why did so many people turn it down? I don't think anybody turned it down. Ty Lue would be the closest to that just because he said he was coming and then he never actually made it down here. Stan Van Gundy was the first one that they extended the job to. Okay, so let's just get into baseline numbers. Because as I said, the goal for the Pelicans right now just simply needs to be being a above 500 team that makes the playoff consistently. Stan Van Gundy is a winner. Let's look. Since the Pelicans moved to New Orleans back in 2002 and 2003, they have played 18 seasons, Jordy. In those 18 seasons, they have 7 playoff trips. They have 2 playoff series wins. They have 1 50-win season. In 11 seasons as a head coach, Stan Van Gundy has 8 playoff trips, so that's 1 more. He has 9 playoff series wins, which is 7 more, including a winning record in the playoffs, and he has 5 50-plus win seasons. So that's 5 times what the Pelicans as a franchise since they came here has. In fact, the Pelicans, since they got here, are 673 and 777. That's their overall record. Stan Van Gundy alone has 523 wins. He has almost won in 7 less seasons. He has almost won as many basketball games as your entire franchise has. And he does this carrying a 57% win percentage. But let's talk about defense, right? Because that's where they've been so bad. Right. And let's get into these numbers, okay? These are Stan Van Gundy teams in multiple defensive stats. In terms of turnover percentage, another thing that we talked about, right? Stan Van Gundy's teams have finished in the top 10 6 times, better than the league average, so the top half 8 times, and this is all out of 11 years, right? They've been in top 10 in the defensive rating 8 times out of the 11, and 3 times they found themselves in the top 5. In terms of keeping opponents out of transition, where they were terrible last season.
They don't get back on defense.
They don't get back on defense. Well, Stan Van Gundy teams have been top 10 in the NBA 10 out of his 11 seasons. Limiting the opponent's number of points per possession, 9 out of 11 seasons, they've been in the top 10. Opponent free throw rate, 7 out of his 11 seasons, they've been in the top 10. 10 out of the 11 seasons, they've been in the top half. Defensive rebounding rate, second chance points allowed, again, top 10 in 10 of his 11 seasons. And here's the last number. So Cleaning the Glass is a site that tracks a stat, which is location effective field goal percentage. Basically, what it boils down to.
Shot selection?
It measures how good are you from the most efficient areas, right? And that's at the rim, the free throw line, and those corner threes. So the inverse of that is how good are you at defending those areas. If you look at Van Gundy's 11 years, his worst finish was 14th, and that was on that bad Detroit team. He's been in the top 10 every other season, top 5, 8 of his 11 seasons, and 5 times he has finished number 1 overall in terms of protecting the most vulnerable spots on a basketball court from a defensive perspective. Here's a quote from the Ringer article where all these numbers are laid out. Quote, "That's what a Stan Van Gundy team does. Controls the defensive glass, keep opponents off the line and out of transition. It takes care of the ball, keeps offenses out of the paint, forces them to shoot shots they don't want to take." If that doesn't sound, if you have watched this Pelicans team in the Gentry era, and if that doesn't sound like the exact fix to all of the problems that have made you want to pull your hair out for the last 5 years, then I don't know what will. Because to me, this sounds like finally getting down the core fundamentals, which then can allow the talent to shine, and Ingram and Zion, and allow these guys to start to have some belief in themselves so they can win.
Ryan Theriot next, talking baseball.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Remember that basketball discussion is brought to you by Lanois Insurance Agency. Get over and see the boys today, Randy, Brian, and David, as they are standing by for your call on flood insurance, home insurance, auto insurance, or business insurance. Online at LANOIXagency.com, 749-5640. Get you in touch with the crew. Get that free quote this morning. Looking to save a couple of dimes here going into the fourth quarter. Maybe an insurance quote this morning could be a good starting spot for you. LANOIXagency.com.
LanoisAgency.com. LanoisAgency.com. You need that insurance. It doesn't matter what type. They got your back. Small business owner looking for protection, they got you. Bundle your home and auto. You can save money. Flood insurance. What I love, it's one of those things where I don't really have to deal with a lot, right? I just tell Lanois what I need. They customize the policy for me. They give me the coverage I need at a rate that I'm comfortable with, and I don't lift a finger. And they save me money. And they always have my back when it comes to filing claims. LanoisAgency.com, LanoisAgency.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up! Roof's up!
Roof's up!
Roof's up?
Roof's up!
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all.
If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hi, this is Charles Hannigrove. Join me and Jacob Hester for the next edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny. More on the Stan Van Gundy hire with the Pelicans, and LSU inches closer to their game with South Carolina. We'll talk about the quarterback situation. Noon weekdays, Hanging with Hester and Hanny, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Tom Pelissero is reporting over at the NFL Network that Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas tweaked a hamstring in practice, just the latest hurdle as he tries to get back on the field Sunday against the Carolina Panthers. I know Amy just had that from NOLA.com as well, but it started to be reported over at the NFL Network that Thomas tweaked a hamstring. Need to get that dude over to Traction. Speaking of Traction, Ryan Theriot is over there as what a great get here this morning.
Call him Pin. Bring him in.
Wally Pipp. In fact, before we get into some baseball stuff here, I was just telling the crew in the break, Theriot, take us back to Houston 2015 batting practice. You've got family and friends in town. Believe you're playing for the Cubs on the short porch and knock a couple of out in batting practice. Next thing you know, you want to take a shot at the train and you rip an abdomen muscle. Can you tell us about being an athlete at a high level with that injury and what it was like to get back?
I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, it's extremely painful. You know, it's a little different though. What I gathered from Brennan is it's more of the abdomen. I was the oblique kind of on the side, but and look, it was a strain, so I didn't like tear it or anything. And it would hurt to breathe, it hurt to cough, it hurt to sit down, it hurt to stand up, and just really painful. And one of those things where I was told, look, there's not a whole lot we can do, man. You just kind of got to sit here and out, which I was okay with because I was still getting paid, so that was pretty cool. I didn't have to do anything, and I got paid. The American dream, right? I figured it out, but yeah, man, it's super painful injury.
The Riot, Ryan Theriot joining us here, giving us some baseball insight. Is Major League Baseball right now, Game 2 of the World Series last night. Tampa Bay knots it up at a game apiece, 6-4 winners. Day off here before Game 3 tomorrow. What have you made through the first two games?
Man, it's kind of gone as expected. You know, I felt bad for Kershaw because of his struggles in the postseason, and I hoped and expected him to pitch well in Game 1, and he did. You know, you're always running a risk, guys, when you do the you know, kind of starter by committee deal, and that's what's going on. That's the Rays' MO, and you see the Dodgers do it as well last night. It kind of bit them in the butt with May giving up some runs there at the end. But you know, you're relying on 5, 6, 7 guys to have their best stuff. I mean, and truth is, one of those guys is probably going to struggle. And during the season, there's not as much pressure. Nothing, you know, it doesn't matter as much. But in the World Series, man, you know, the booty holes start to pucker a little bit.
Yep.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Tighten up.
And so you don't know what you're going to get. And we saw that last night with LA. You know, one of their guys wasn't able to throw well, and they end up losing the game. So flip side of that, you got Snell goes out and gives you 4 good innings and kind of sets the pace for the Rays. I'll tell you the scary thing for LA right now is it looks like Brandon Lowe may be heating up. And, this is a guy that can really swing the bat, y'all, second baseman from the Rays, and has struggled mightily this postseason, but he's able to clip him 2 home runs last night. If this guy gets going, and you got Margot, and then you got, what is the name? How you say it?
Arozarena. Thank you, Musso.
You get a Rosarina, Lowe, Margot going, man, that's a scary offense. And so we'll see what happens.
Wait, so Ryan, I wanted to ask you about Brandon Lowe because I was reading about him this morning, and I didn't realize how bad it had been for him. In the playoffs, he was 6 of 56 coming into last night. He'd struck out 19 games. He did not have a single multi-hit game this postseason, and then he goes yard twice in Game 2 of the World Series when your team needs it to tie it up. Like, how does that sort of quick turnaround happen night to night like that?
I mean, all it takes is one at bat, T-Bob, and honestly, it doesn't even have to be a hit all the time. I mean, you could walk, you could square a ball up and get out, make out, and then go, oh, my God, I found it. That's
Wow.
what it is, and it's a feel for these guys. When you get to that level, it's all about feel, and he's searching. Hopefully he found it, but he had been searching for some sort of feel, because he's a professional hitter. The guy's been an all-star, and, is a great player. And so you're looking for that, man, and it can turn around, immediately. I mean, it can turn around in one swing, one at bat. And from the naked eye, we're watching the game and we don't see anything different. But to Lowe, he's made some drastic change, and all of a sudden he doesn't suck anymore.
Ryan Theriot joining us here, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. So what are we looking at here? The Dodgers have been here 3 out of the last 4 years. The Rays here the first time, but they're both built similarly, right? Is the Dodgers analytically built with with endless amounts of cash, and the Rays are built analytically on a budget? Is that what these two teams are?
Yeah, and I think, Jordy, the biggest difference for me is when you look at the clubhouse, you look at the rosters. I mean, the Dodgers have been there before. There's experience there. No, they haven't won it, but these guys understand what it feels like to be in this position, and that gives them a marked advantage. I'm going to be honest. Skip Bertman said that years ago. You got to get there first, before you can win the thing, and it's true. So there's experience on the Dodgers side. You've got Hall of Famers on the Dodgers squad as well. And I really like that side of it. I like their experience. I'm pulling for those guys, man, because I feel like they deserve it. I mean, Corey Seager was one of the best players on the planet when he's healthy, and we're seeing him really do damage right now. Mookie Betts, obviously, but then you got guys like Kiki Hernandez who are platoon type guys that play a major role and would be starters on any other team. They're just a really good club, man. And I'm a big Dave Roberts fan. I think it's the Dodgers' time. I really do. I just hope the Rays make it fun and interesting.
Ryan, one thing that's really stood out to me this playoffs, and I don't know why here at 31 this seems to be hitting me so much more than like any other year, but I'm like listening to John Smoltz talk about throwing on this level and just the mental strain, right? And not just throwing, just playing in the World Series, like the mental strain from every single pitch, the pressure, everything that's on the line. How do you try to manage that so that you can just focus on playing well and winning the World Series?
Yeah, I was thinking about that last night, and it's one of those things, T-Bob, where you're just kind of, it's Groundhog Day, man. You're kind of in the moment, and you want it to be that way. I mean, the bad part about playing, not the bad part, but one of the challenging parts about playing baseball professionally, especially in the major leagues, is it's so repetitive, right? And you eat the same things every day. You show up at the park at the same time. You go to the same restaurants, blah, blah, blah. And you wake up and it's like, damn, I just did this, a week ago, and I'm doing it again today. But that is an advantage in the postseason if you can make it that way. Meaning, if you can mimic a July 8th game from a preparation standpoint in October, I think you have an advantage. The nerves and the pressure, everything matters so much, man. That if you let it, it'll drive you crazy and it'll affect your game. Fortunately, I was there twice and won them both times. But I can tell you the second time I was there in 2012, it was a much more relaxed, enjoyable feeling, than 2011. Like, oh, my God, if I screw this up, I'm letting down the whole city of St. Louis feel, So I think that's where the Dodgers have an advantage.
Who's the best player in this World Series? Is it Betts?
God, Mookie. Yeah, I mean, he's so special. He's not playing the best, no, but he's just a special player. I believe Corey Seager's playing the best. Corey Seager plays a premier position, shortstop. He's been injured, kind of dinged up the last few years, so you haven't seen him at 100%. But, he plays great defense, really swinging the bat well. And like I said, playing a premier position, even stole a base, I think, the other night or attempted to. But I'm a big Corey Seager fan. I think Bellinger has stepped his game up this year for L.A. The center fielder for Tampa, guys, Margot, got hit one homer, I think, in the regular season. He's got 6 or 7 in the postseason. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, you got dudes stepping up and doing well. From the pitching standpoint, up until this last start, the glass now for Tampa, was just amazing. And what about Tampa's bullpen? I mean, these guys are special. Every one of them throws 100.
There is not a better baseball tutor in town. If you are looking for one-on-one training, go see Traction Sports and see Ryan Terrio. If you are over there working out, you see that it is just a factory all day. I am a part of the adult training classes that they offer over at Traction, and it is fantastic. One-on-one training with Kirsty, as I'll be over there at some point today. TractionSports.com. Ryan Terrio, thank you for the text. Thank you for the insight, man.
You're the man, bro. Appreciate you guys.
All right, see you. There is Terrio checking in. We'll close at hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Daily brought to you here on Off the Bench by Central Plumbing Company. Online, centralplumbing.org. 925-8552 is the phone number. Remember, find them there and get them at centralplumbing.org. Residential or commercial plumbing services. They can help you out. Great showroom over there if you are if you're handy and you can do it yourself. Central Plumb it yourself. They offer that, and you can check it out online, centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. It's a simple number to remember for all of your plumbing problems to be solved. I want it to be like I don't think mnemonic device is right here. The point is, what I'm trying to get across is, I want you, anytime you have a plumbing issue, right? Drain won't drain, water squirting out of somewhere funny, sink not working, anything and everything, I immediately just want you to think of Central Plumbing, because it's going to be easy. You're not going to lift a finger, and your problems are going to be solved. Doesn't matter, old house, new house, what the problem is. They've seen it all in their 40 years, so they can fix it all. Go to centralplumbing.org today, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
and an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your
Tune in Friday night for a full night of prep football coverage. It all starts at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview. Catholic High and East Ascension kick off at 7. And we wrap things up with a full 2 hours of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, CST, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Blaine Besh and Gordy Rush gave me this to promote here in the last segment. Dan, if you want to zoom in here, they're doing a chalk talk. It looks like a
nine-hole
film
three-man
breakdown.
scramble. Is that allowed? Is that legal?
They're doing a film breakdown today over at Carter Plantation.
Oh, never mind.
And then following the round, LSU football film review with Gordy Rush, 9-hole three-man scramble. If you want to reserve your spot, you can call 294-7555 there, Dan, if you want to zoom in there. The extension.
I got confused. I saw 9 holes, 3-man film. I thought it was an OnlyFans thing, but no. It looks like it's just a golf
thing. That
thing.
dad and son meme going around, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it's just a golf thing, so enjoy it.
There you go, Besh, Gordy.
For real, those are interesting, though. I actually hosted one of those film things last year, and it was a very good time.
A little short. You know who won't be is LSU basketball. I'm so ready for LSU basketball. Cam Thomas is Arik Gilbert. Arik Gilbert is Cam Thomas.
Arik Gilbert's been pretty damn good early on here, Ball.
The SEC and NCAA are not ready for Cam Thomas.
Okay.
Just gotta walking through yesterday. Had to drop off something to Willie Wade to get a little signature there for a fundraiser, and Cam putting up shots early in the morning. My guy, Tasman's out there with him.
Yeah.
Tasman Mitchell working him out. He is the most natural scorer that LSU has had.
Oh, say it.
Since Marcus Thornton.
Wow.
Give me one in between, then it's been the best, Musa, that I may be leaving out. I said
Marcus Thornton's
I
still
said
in the league,
Daryl
huh?
Mitchell yesterday, and our buddy Jesse McCormick, who is a listener, who's a supporter of the show. He brings the Verge Osbury interview over at Capital Partners each week. He and I were going back and forth. He said Marcus Thornton. I said, you're probably right. Thornton was just a dynamic scorer. Cam Thomas is that type of guy, where if you leave him open, if he sets his feet, if he squares his shoulders, put it on the board. But the thing that I didn't know that Cam had the capability of so quick here as a freshman, and this is a lot from Tasman too, getting a little insight from Tasman and from Coach Wade, is that he is a dog mentally. He is just a fierce competitor where he's not going to shy away from anything. It to me, potentially, with Trendon Watford, Javonte Smart, Darius Days on the team, by midseason, by the time they get to the 10th, 12th game of the year, Cam Thomas could be their best player.
Ooh. Whoa.
To give you an idea of how special he is. I mean,
okay.
Cam Thomas is Arik Gilbert. Arik Gilbert is Cam Thomas.
Start the hype train now. I love it. Bo Wilson in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat asking, is Sharif going to be eligible?
Yes, I would imagine that Sharif would get that news sometime soon here. And Sharif is gonna play a fantastic role on what they want to do on this type of team where you can pick and pop, where you can extend the defense and you've got a ball handler that can play pick and roll. Sharif runs that pick and pop game where he can set up and knock down that 17, 18-footer all day, or he's athletic enough to put it on the wood and get to the rim. I'm telling you, man, LSU basketball has the makings right now with the roster to make a big-time run. Big-time run. Boot up! Hour 3 next.
All right, got a big OTBOT coming up. Going to kick it off with Andrew Lopez breaking down the SVG hire, how it all went down. At 9:30, we got Matt Flynn talking about freshman quarterbacks. Also, why is he not the quarterback of his flag football team?
The pressing questions.
Yeah,
he
Jordy
asked the
gave me
hard
some-
questions, for God's sake.
Some great, we got to get to the bottom of it. So stick around. It's going to be a ton of fun. OTBOT.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily here by Secure Shredding and Recycling. Remember online, secureshreddingandrecycling.com, as you can get over the day for document destruction. They offer mobile shredding over there at Secure Shredding and Recycling, your document destruction specialist. Doesn't matter if you're an individual, a business, a government organization. They can take care of you today. 10 trucks on the road, mobile shredding available. All of the information online at secureshreddingandrecycling.com.
Secureshreddingandrecycling.com, secureshreddingandrecycling.com for all of your document destruction needs. Hard drive destroyed for free, mention off the bench, right? But maybe it's just paper. Look, whatever it is, they can do it. They help protect the environment by recycling all these materials. They save on fuel costs, all of these things. But look, the bottom line, it's a services business. They are there to serve you, and they are convenient. They can destroy on site with their trucks. They have drop-off points, or they can bring it back to their facilities. They do it all. SecureShreddingandRecycling.com.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
Get an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
From the makers of Blue Moon comes Light Sky. An extraordinary citrus sweet brewed with real tangerine peel, only 95 calories. Welcome to the light side of the moon.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a new Camry for $239 per month, or take 0% financing for 6 years. $239 per month, or 0% for 6 years. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday, October 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 87. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up today on OTB OT, ESPN's Andrew Lopez stops by next, and Matt Flynn joins the show at 9:30. Follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live over at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Get inside that Bayou Ford chat. And make sure you're subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted there daily. OTB OT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
OTBOT, T-Bob Musso and Danny hanging out with you today. It's been a very fun show today. We're going to make it more funner this hour. Oh, does that hurt you? Good. I hope it hurt you all. T-Bob Hebert here, and I'm the host of this third and final hour, and we're going to talk to Andrew Lopez right now. Matt Flynn coming up at 9:30. A little football in between, but first, I got my Pelicans jersey on for a reason. SVG. Okay, you know. Stan Van Gundy. He's here. And the guy who broke the story, Andrew Lopez, is tweeted right there with Woj. We got him on right now. He writes for ESPN, covers your New Orleans Pelicans. Andrew, what's up, dude? Thanks for waking up with us.
No problem, man. And I'm not gonna lie, still tweeting things with Woj or having Woj put my name in a tweet. It's still weird. I'm not gonna lie.
So that was actually exactly where I wanted to start, because we've known each other for a long time. I feel like we probably first met in the Saints beat back in the day, but either way, you've just consistently kind of risen, and here you are breaking head coaching news and being tagged by, the breaking guy, right? The Woj bomb himself. What did that feel like yesterday?
Dude, it's weird, and every time we do it, it's weird. I feel like this. I remember the day I got hired by ESPN, or the day we made it public. A bunch of people started hitting me up, and I got a text from a number I didn't recognize, and the text just read, "This is Adrian Wojnarowski. I cover the NBA at ESPN."
Oh, you think?
And I was like, first off, I'm thinking, one, if I don't know that, I shouldn't have this job. Two, I'm like, this is okay. That was the moment that it started to become real that I worked for ESPN. As I'm looking at my phone, and it's like, oh, this is Woj. If you need anything, just this is my number. I was like, okay.
It's kind of wild because Woj could definitely just be like, sup, it's Woj. But at this point, it just shows you that he's a good guy, right? He's a good guy, not assuming anything.
Yeah, and this whole, I'm telling you, man, this is what been, as much as I think a year ago today, the NBA season was starting, the one that just ended a week ago. So I guess it's been a little over a year since I've been at ESPN. It's still weird. It's still weird to be on ESPN, to be on SportsCenter or do SportsCenter Global. All of it's still, it's very, very fun, but it's still very, what the hell is going on?
Okay.
At the same time.
So let's get into some housekeeping here, because I have a few different things I want to hit. I want to hit on how the process played out. I want to hit on kind of what you think about Van Gundy as a whole. But first, I want to hit on some of the criticisms that I've been seeing this morning in the chat, and it's kind of process related. One of the things I've seen is people are like, wait, so you're telling me that all boiled down to Mark Jackson, Jason Kidd, or Stan Van Gundy? How many people were actually interviewed or considered candidates for the New Orleans Pelicans job?
So sources tell me that 9 candidates were interviewed for the head coaching position. There were other people that they ended up talking to, but some of those guys maybe were only being talked to for assistant spots, and that's maybe if Griff is going to bring in somebody he wants. Is Stan Van Gundy going to get full reign on that? That is kind of yet to be determined. But then that list was whittled down to 4 finalists. Obviously, Stan Van Gundy was one of them. Ty Lue was another one. Obviously, Ty Lue ends up going to the Clippers. Now, this was going to be a process from the start. This was going to be a long process because there were people in the bubble, namely Ty Lue, Jason Kidd maybe, that they wanted to talk to face-to-face. That's how they wanted to run this process. They didn't want to pick a coach based on Zooms. So, welcome to 2020, where I'm pretty sure that's a new sentence. So they didn't want to do that. They wanted to meet you face-to-face. They wanted to bring you to New Orleans, and that was part of their process that they had been doing. I don't think Mark Jackson was ever in there. I do believe, like, Jason Kidd was part of this process. Where he stopped, I'm not quite sure yet, but he was going to take his time. Again, with the NBA season probably starting in January now, maybe even early February, there was no rush. There's no salary cap. There's no, the draft is still a month away, so there's still time to get things done. They were not particularly in a rush to hurry up and get this done. That's why they took their time with it.
Was anyone else offered the job?
Nah, not that I believe. I think they focused in on the 2 main finalists were, I do believe, were Stan Van Gundy and Ty Lue. As Ty Lue was getting into the part where they were about to offer the job, or could have offered the job, I should say, I think that's when the Clippers offer came in, and that Clippers offer was, almost $8 million a year. Don't know if New Orleans was going to be able to meet that mark, but officially, one person was offered that job, and it's the guy who took it.
And look, I know that how I feel, which is kind of like this. Look, I approach it. I am a fan. I am by no means a basketball analyst. I think even when you look at analysts, right, like hires are just always terribly hard to know whether they work out or not. I do know that I like the numbers in terms of Van Gundy's resume versus the Pelicans' resume. What is your opinion of this hire as Stan being the man for the Pelicans to try to kind of right this ship?
As of right now, it's a good hire. It's not anything that particularly like blows you away. Although I don't know if there's many people who would absolutely just blow you away.
Yeah.
As an NBA coach right now, if they were to like somehow get popped like that, would be like one of those things. Like, oh, like how did what? Okay, something like that. It's a good hire. It's not necessarily great. I don't. Right now, to me, it's just a good hire, and I think it can become a great one. It can become a home run swing, but that depends on a few things. It depends on assistant hires. It depends on actual performance on the floor. And I think those kind of things remain to be seen. So, obviously, there were a lot of names out there right now, and hot, assistant names and things like that. But I think we're still going to see, I think, some assistants be named here. He's going to have, guys that he brings in. He's going to have guys that he ends up keeping from these previous Pelican staffs. So, to me, it's a good, solid hire that has the potential, as you mentioned, become some of those stats. His defenses in the 11 seasons that he has finished as a head coach, his defense has been in the top half of the league 10 times. They've been in the top 10 8 times. Yeah. He's obviously started with he's had an offense where he's gone 1 in 4 out, which you could do with Zion Williamson being the Dwight Howard in this scenario. So he's done a lot of good things as a coach, and I think what sours people a little bit is what he just did in Detroit, where he was only above 500 for 1 year, only made the playoffs 1 year, was swept that year. That was more because of Stan Van Gundy, the GM, who is not as good as Stan Van Gundy, coach. You want to look at him as a coach, fine. He still took that Detroit franchise, who probably had a mandate to make the playoffs, even as the 8th seed, and kept them fighting maybe a little bit above their weight. Go back to what he did in Miami and Orlando when he was a coach who was over 600 winning percentage. He is a very good coach. He was a very bad GM.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in his last stop, the GM kind of got in the way of the coach a little bit.
Yeah, it's a total Bill O'Brien situation, just in the NBA to the NFL. The other criticism I'm here, we're talking to Andrew Lopez at _Andrew_Lopez on Twitter, covers Pelicans for ESPN. He's 61 years old, so young Pelicans team. Do you think he can get the youth to respond to him?
I do. I don't think you necessarily needed like a 38-year-old coach to make these guys respond. A lot of times what these guys are going to respond to is somebody who can get the beginning game of basketball to them and relay that to them. And I think he can. And I think, again, a lot of this also depends on assistants, who he brings in, who he keeps. So that doesn't buy. Like, I don't buy the, because he's 61, he can't relate to like 21-year-old Zion. A 40-year-old basketball coach is not going to be on the same plane as 20-year-old Zion. I mean, they're going to be different anyway.
Yeah.
So, but somebody who knows the game, respects the game, who these guys have listened to as a commentator because he was on TNT during the bubble. So I think that's going to be just fine. I don't think there's going to be any sort of trouble there.
What about this, Andrew? What does this mean for the roster going forward, or at least to the best of your estimation right now? Because, there were plenty of talks about like maybe trading Drew, trading others, but from what I've read, it seems like a lot of people see this move as maybe a signal that won't be taking place. What's your take?
Yeah, it does seem now less likely. I mean, we would have talked, when we talked last week, I would have thought if it wasn't going to be Stan Van Gundy, that there was a good possibility of moving Drew. There was a good possibility of moving J.J. Redick. Just because I think you're not going to compete for a championship. Those guys have earned the right to compete for championships, I think, at this point. And if you to move them to, say, Brooklyn, for some package that included Karis LeVert, I think you could have accomplished what you wanted to accomplish by getting younger and getting guys more on your timeline. You get a 26-year-old Karis LeVert instead of a 30-year-old Drew, a 31-year-old Drew, and a 36-year-old J.J. Redick. You put those two in a position to compete for championships, and then you can still build on your own timeline closer to what Zion and Brandon Ingram's timeline is. You don't have to try to rush it. I think Pelicans fans remember what happens when you try to rush the process.
Yes.
It ends up with your superstar winning a title in L.A. So, to me, I think it seems less likely now, just because of the age of Stan Van Gundy. I don't think Stan's going to be interested in not trying to win for 2 years. So, but if the right deal still comes along, and again, it helps them still fit their timeline for Zion and Brandon, I think they'll still contemplate making a deal.
Here's just a kind of a random aside that somebody brought up as well that I did want to ask you. Do you think they keep Fred Vincent around? I mean, obviously what he's done with Lonzo is spectacular. He just seems like the best guy when it comes to helping players develop skills.
Of the guys who are there right now, I would be shocked if Fred Vincent is not still on this coaching staff moving forward. He obviously has the trust of a lot of guys in there. He has, you saw with the shooting numbers of Lonzo. You saw the shooting numbers of Brandon Ingram.
Yep.
You can go back in the past. Look Anthony Davis was helped out there. Tyreek Evans was helped out there. I mean, this is not his first time getting this done. He is well liked within the organization. I would be surprised if he wasn't kept by Stan Van Gundy.
Okay, last one here with Andrew Lopez, covers the Pelicans for ESPN. Look, my thing is, a lot of people have been like, well, he's not a championship coach, but my deal is the Pelicans talking about championships is a bit laughable at this point, right? Like, there's levels to winning. And first, they just got to learn to win consistently. Do you think with Van Gundy at the helm, a little time before the season starts, and this young roster, like, are they good enough to get to that consistent above 500 ball here in year one?
I think they can. I think it all remains to see of what moves they end up making. There's still a lot of questions. Obviously, we talked about Drew and JJ. They have extensions talks that they can do with Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart. Lonzo's obviously now with Clutch. They're going to be looking for a lot of money. What happens with Lonzo? There's like a 98% chance that, like, I don't see a scenario, honestly, where Brandon Ingram is not on the Pelicans next year.
Yeah.
They'll get his extension done. What do you do at center? Is Zion your center, or is Zion your 4? Do you go get somebody else? Do you end up maybe trading for another guy who can play the 4 offensively, play the 5 defensively? So if you make the right moves, I do believe with the correct buy-in, this team can start their ascent into being, a playoff contender year in, year out, and then continue to grow from there.
There we go. Andrew Lopez at _Andrew_Lopez. Check him out on Twitter. And, if you're on ESPN, you'll see his work. Andrew, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy. Shout out to Andrew as well. Knowing that we would be asking him to come on, he actually preemptively told another show, like in Florida, I think, no. So he could come on OTB. So we love you for that, Andrew. All right, when we get back, talk some football. We got some games tonight to get into. A huge playoff matchup in the NFL. And then we got Matt Flynn coming up here at 9:30. This is OTB OT.
OTB OT. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Tune into a Wednesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Roscoe. The guys are live from City Slice Pints and Pizza from 6 to 8 p.m. Come join us right outside the campus of LSU or tune into 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Meet you. What's that from?
I don't know off the top of my head.
What if I were to grind aggressively on you?
Night at the Roxbury.
Oh, look at Danny.
First of all, please don't do that.
Good job, Danny. I'm so surprised that you knew a Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan Night at the Roxbury reference, but when I was singing Wonderwall by Oasis during the commercial break, you actually did not know what Wonderwall is. That's kind of fascinating.
Well, Night at the Roxbury is a classic.
It is
So is Wonderwall, to be fair.
It is. Danny is a bit cinematic, though. He's a movie guy.
I probably do know that song. If I just heard like the real version.
Oh, wow.
Not
You heard that,
Wow,
T-Bob? He just said you suck at singing.
That is exactly what that
That's
sounded
what I heard.
like. Damn, Danny.
If I
Tell
heard
me
someone
how
with
you
actual
really
talent
feel.
singing the song.
Yeah, Jesus, dude. Sorry I'm not Liam or Noel. I don't know. Whichever brother sings. I don't know. Sorry I'm not that Gallagher brother, Danny. Damn, way to make me feel insecure right as we're about to do another segment of radio where I have to use my voice to try to propel the show. I hope you're happy. I'm glad that the Dodgers lost yesterday.
No, you do have great pipes, though.
Oh,
for
dude, you're so sweet.
Great levels.
Oh, there we go. You're so sweet. There we go. Now you know how to make me butter up and feel better. Yeah, so look right here. I just figure we'll talk a little bit about what's on the tube tonight. We talk. So people are asking me what I think about the LSU sanctions. It's a bit odd because, we can be pretty tuned into things behind the scenes. So I feel like I'd actually heard about this OBJ and other stuff quite a long time ago, so I didn't find it that surprising. So maybe my reaction isn't as serious as it should be. I think that LSU self-imposing will help with the NCAA, and I think that the fact that it took place in the Miles Oliva era will help in terms of punishments going forward. I think the great wild card in all of this is it kind of ties into basketball in a weird way. The NCAA has been going after basketball so hard that they kind of tried to lump in football, and that's when LSU reacted. It's just like, whoa. We need to keep these things separate. So, I mean, maybe it could spin into something larger. I don't foresee it getting too bad, but obviously we'll just have to wait and see this play out. Somebody asked me, scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about the sanctions going forward? I think I said about a 3. So maybe I'm off base there, but that's just where I'm at. Person right now. You know how in basketball we always talk about the kind of blue blood protection. I feel like LSU has a little blue blood protection when it comes to football. And Mark Emmert, he has some LSU ties. Used to be the president over here. So chill out, Mark. Okay, relax. We self-imposed. Even though, the Odell stuff, like whatever, who cares about that? The greasy stuff is taking money from a hospital and paying a player's father and taking plane rides that you say are like patient transportation and stuff. Yeah, that's the real bad stuff. So we'll see if the lack of scholarships and everything else that LSU did to themselves, if it ends up paying off. As far as the game this weekend, I think I like the Tigers against South Carolina. We'll kind of get into more of an in-depth preview tomorrow, but one of the things I love is that I do think that in terms of exactly what the LSU defense needed, this Saturday's matchup is that. This is by no means, it's a solid South Carolina offense. It's by no means an overwhelming one. It is a pro-style offense. As Andy Staples pointed out earlier in the week, is an offense that Bo Pelini likely would have seen back in 2007 when he was coaching, maybe with some new wrinkles. So, like, if you can't get it right with your talent level here, then I don't know if you stand a chance against anybody. So I'm actually pretty bullish, maybe a bit bullish, more bullish than I should be, considering they're playing freshman quarterbacks against South Carolina. We'll talk about the freshman quarterbacks next with Matt Flynn. As far as the NFL is concerned, got a game tonight. Potential division lead on the line. You got the 1-5 New York Giants against the 1-4-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Wow, awesome. And what talking about this game did, beyond the playoff implications, was spawn some quarterback talk in the commercial break. Yesterday, we went through Larry Holder's piece where he asked about the future of quarterback. Many of y'all were triggered because the Athletic editors put Sam Darnold on the cover of that article. We kind of landed on Jameis Winston probably being the best option. But y'all brought up something interesting. Like, what if Carson Wentz were somehow able to enter the fray? I mean, and look, and don't get too married to whether this is realistic or not. I kind of want to approach it from a more hypothetical standpoint. So Wentz right now, it's pretty unbelievable. The quarterback economic market is just so broken. We just saw a graph on ESPN where like quarterback cash, like the amount of cash that a quarterback is making this season, number one in the NFL, I think, is Kirk Cousins at $40 million. And then I think Carson Wentz is right behind him at 39. And then it's Ryan Tannehill, which is so funny because only one of those three quarterbacks is playing well at all right now. But hey, when it's your turn to get paid, if you can play well enough before that, you get paid. So, but the question, what we boiled it down to, and Musa and Danny, I'll let you all answer, state your case. If it came down to it, would you rather Carson Wentz or Sam Darnold have a chance to be the next quarterback for the New Orleans Saints?
Wait, that's what we said?
Is that not what we were talking about?
That's what I was saying.
Yes,
that's what you meant.
Yeah, that's what Danny was saying.
I didn't know you meant for the Saints. I thought, Danny, you just said.
You were just saying in a vacuum, who would you choose?
Yes, that's what I assumed.
No. We're talking about who do you think would fit better with the New Orleans Saints if they were to somehow get a choice between those two? Danny?
I would take Carson Wentz. Just because of that 1 year he had. He looked really good.
He was at MVP level.
Yeah.
Until he tore his ACL.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So you're going with Wentz as well,
I'm
still.
with Danny.
Okay, so the reason why I think I would actually go Darnold is the more Adam Gase numbers I look up, the more unbelievably bad Adam Gase is. I mean, he is a masterclass in be bad at your job and get a promotion. It's like Office Space writ large, right? He's not doing anything. He just keeps getting promoted, keeps getting paid. So it's like I've never seen what Sam Darnold looks like in a good situation. I've seen what Carson Wentz looks like in a good situation. And granted, that Super Bowl year, he was great. But he's still in a good situation. Like, we still think Doug Peterson's a good head coach, right? And you still think the Philly franchise is pretty good overall, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know, man. I mean,
well, they are leaps and bounds better than the New York Jets and Adam Gase.
They are, but Philly just feels like the ultimate one-hit wonder.
Chill out throwing the one-hit wonder thing around, okay? Because I'm rubber, you are glue. Look at LSU. Let's chill out with that.
We're not talking about LSU.
I know. I'm just saying one-hit wonders are tight. One-hit wonders are fun. That's my point, okay? It's still a lot of fun. You still got the one hit. Better to have hit once than never hit at all.
Dynasties are more fun, but continue.
Yes, but also way harder to achieve. But the point is, the Eagles are at least like a franchise that has been consistently playoff relevant, right? And within that, we've seen Carson Wentz just kind of just hit a steady decline. And he seems to be hitting like a sort of rock bottom this year. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I could make the argument that I would rather the potential of Sam Darnold. I guess I'm doing a lot of this also because I really just want to bring up this chart that I retweeted yesterday as I'm desperately trying to find it on Adam Gase's offensive finishes. Did y'all see this?
No.
It was making the rounds over the weekend. Okay, so Dov Klayman on Twitter asks, why is Adam Gase still getting jobs? Are Peyton Manning's recommendations that powerful? So this is in 2015. He was the offensive coordinator of the Bears. They're the 21st offense in the NFL. Next year, Miami head coach, 24th offense in the NFL. 2017, they had the 25th offense in the NFL. In his final year as Miami head coach, they had the 31st ranked offense in the NFL. And then as the New York Jets head coach last season, they were dead last in the NFL. And again, they are 31st again this year. That is unbelievable. This is a guy who is clearing multiple millions of dollars each year because of his offensive genius. And yet he finishes dead last. How does that come about? I have no idea. I can't imagine that he's incredible in the interview process. I mean, the press conference alone where he looked like he was coked out of his mind would speak to that not being the case. So it just, to me, it shows you two things. First off, kids, if you fail correctly or if you have a great personality, you have good connections, or you just hitch your bandwagon to someone like Peyton Manning at a certain point in your career, maybe you get lucky and you end up really successful. The other thing it tells me, my God, the Jets front office, y'all are terrible. How after his years in Miami, y'all could have chosen him to be the head coach is the laziest, worst coaching decision I have ever seen in my entire life. You ignored the red flags. You stuck your D in crazy, and you are now dealing with the repercussions that come about from said situation. As we're seeing, those repercussions can be widely felt. All right, when we get back, Matt Flynn, LSU quarterback, going to break down two freshmen potentially playing this Saturday for the Tigers here on Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN.
OTB, OT.
So we just talked about football. You know what the best place to talk about football is? At Hooters. It's your headquarters for football. Why? I should think it should be obvious, dear. They've got the wings, the beer, the sports, the television. They got everything at Hooters. The Segan location, which is by me, they just renovated last year. It's fantastic, y'all. New floors, new countertops, new televisions, new everything. But look, if you can't get into Hooters for game day, bring the Hooters to you. That's right. No, I'm not talking about hiring like the Hooters girls for your tailgate party. I'm sure you could do that if you have enough money. But I just mean like simply like the wings, right? Or just any of the food. You download the Hooters application for your phone, the app, and you will get a free appetizer. That is just one of many food and drink deals that you'll get from said phone app. So download it. You can order online. It makes it super simple. Or you go to HootersToGo.com, get wings to fly, and then you're watching the game at your home. You don't have to do dishes. You don't have to cook. All you got to do is eat. Go to Hooters.com today.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I build a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Service Master Elite.
Hi, this is Charles Hannegriff. Join me and Jacob Hester for the next edition of Hanging with Hester and Henny. More on the Stan Van Gundy hire with the Pelicans, and LSU inches closer to their game with South Carolina. We'll talk about the quarterback situation. Noon weekdays, Hanging with Hester and Henny, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back, OTBOT. Just thinking about my guy Stan Van Gundy. Also thinking about number 15 as earlier in this week, it was the anniversary of the Auburn Debo, Matt Flynn, Demetrius Byrd. It was the Matt Flynn to D-Bird, 1 second left on the clock, touchdown. Matt, what's going on, man? After rewatching that, although I was on the field for it as a young 18-year-old, I again marvel at the size of your balls that you would throw that ball into that window and win that game. Matt, how have you dealt with carrying around those cojones for your entire life?
That might be one of the best questions I've ever got on radio. Rewatching that, it was funny because it was funny watching all like the responses and the replies on social media. Just like pretty much the only reason I'm on social media is to read replies because they're hilarious. But it's funny to see, everyone, 13 years later, still talking trash about the call and like saying it was a dumb play call and all this mess. And I tell people all the time that like we have it, people. We had it under control. Everyone just needs to relax a little bit. There's like I tell people that there's 92,000 nervous people, but there was 11 people that were just calm and collected out there.
Hell yes, dude. That's because they were taking cues from their leader, the quarterback. Now, Matt, so you displayed your arm talent on that throw, and it's unbelievable. I mean, the window, it's such a tight throw. Like it's a thing of beauty. Jordy alerted me to something that kind of shocked me. Despite having such arm talent, you are not the all-time quarterback on your son's flag football team. I have so many questions. Why are you denying your son's team access to said arm talent?
Have you ever seen the Peyton Manning sketch on SNL?
Yes, absolutely.
I had flashbacks of that. I was afraid I'd get a little too competitive out there, stop reaming out the players. I don't know if you know this, but kindergarten league flag football, if you have like one guy that can catch like 30% of the passes thrown to him, you pretty much win every game.
They're just not coordinated enough.
Well, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's such a cool league to watch and such a fun age to watch. But yeah, no, they can't catch.
Do you think that you apply like how nervous is the actual quarterback of the team, whichever dad that is, knowing that you are over his shoulder, just watching him and kind of judging him in your brain?
Yeah, so no judgment. I mean, this coach is experienced. He's got some years on me in the flag football rankings. So he's done a great job.
This sounds like tacit approval. This sounds like PR messaging 101.
So here's the deal. Like when you throw like the best football ever created, like the NFL football is like a gift from God, right?
Yeah.
Like it is the perfect. So when you go to these youth footballs, I mean, it's just you can't take a step down like that. You can't get a tight spiral with it. It's just.
You know what? What, Matt? It all makes sense now. The NFL balls are bigger. right? I mean, that's what they are. They're a bit more circular in a way. They're just bigger. And you being accustomed to handle said big balls, it seems like it was just a perfect marriage. Speaking of big balls, Matt, it's going to take that to go into this game this weekend as a true freshman in Tiger Stadium and lead this team. You played that quarterback position, obviously. Can you give us any insight into the challenge ahead for either TJ Finley, Max Johnson, or what looks like probably both guys on Saturday?
Yeah, it's football this day and age is so much different than 10 years ago, 20 years ago, just because there's so many more freshmen playing. There's so many freshmen playing early, especially the quarterback position. I mean, that was pretty rare. And even if they did play, it was even more rare for them to even be, decent as a true freshman, let alone good. But we're seeing that a lot. And that just has a lot to do with, this day and age with all the, the quarterback gurus out there, the 7-on-7s. There's just, people are coming into college and then rookies going in the NFL. They're so much more acclimated to football IQ. When you come from high school to college, you're there. You got a scholarship to LSU because you can make every throw, and you got the leg talent, you got the arm talent. But usually it takes maturity and football IQ to be ready to play on the football field. But, like when I came out of high school, I wasn't ready. If I had to step in as a true freshman,
that would have been terrible.
I would have been awful. But, I came from a system, it was kind of just the start in Texas high school football. It was kind of the start of 7-on-7 when I was coming through through high school. And, my coach in high school, he was like, I didn't know what cover 2 or cover 1, cover 3. I was like, you just keep your head on a swivel. Look top to bottom, find the open guy, and make a throw. So that's what I knew. Then I go to LSU, and Jimbo Fisher's like, just dog cussing me because I don't know what cover 2 is my first day. It's just one of those things. Like if I had to step in, I wouldn't have. My career wouldn't have ever, came to fruition like it did. So, but these guys, I've never seen them throw. I've never seen them play. I've never seen them practice. Neither has anybody.
Yeah.
So it's really a crapshoot. I mean, it's like betting the first game of the season every year. It's you don't know what you're going to get, but you got to trust the recruiters. You got to trust the process. You got to trust the system. And over the last 2 years with what Burrow did this year and what Miles has done up to this point, you gotta believe that these freshmen they've been watching the correct ways to do things. So they've been around a good system offensively from a passing yards perspective, and they've been around some good adult not adult but some older vets to watch. So it's they're set up to do it now. It's really kid from kid who's mentally ready for the challenge and to step in. And when practice is one thing, but when you get in the game, that tunnel vision starts to creep in. And the only way to get rid of tunnel vision as a quarterback is to complete some passes and get into the rhythm. So I'll be interested to see if we're going to run 2 quarterbacks in there. I would much rather keep one in there as a freshman, just because it lets them get into the rhythm a little bit more. And if they can get into a rhythm, then the game starts to feel a little bit more like practice, 7-on-7, things like that. So I'll be curious to see the rotation for sure.
Yeah, so you broke up for a second there, but I managed to make out for those that were listening. You mentioned getting some short passes going, kind of get these guys into the rhythm immediately, and then I was thinking a running game obviously helps. If nothing else, like you're alluding to, like you have to feel better about the coaching staff getting this group prepared now than you did about quarterback play 2 years ago. Like I don't know if that translates to success, but you're in a way better spot now. You mentioned Miles, last one here, Matt, because he's played fantastic thus far, especially statistically. What was, as a quarterback that knows what it takes to throw a ball, like what was your reaction when you heard that he played the last 3 quarters of that Mizzou game with a split ab?
Yeah, it's certainly, for a quarterback, for any rotational athlete, whether you're a kicker, golfer, pitcher, quarterback, any rotational athlete, I mean, that's, it's not a death sentence, but it's certainly hard to do it. If they would have had a rain delay in that game, he probably wouldn't have been able to come back in like that.
Yeah.
But, when your body's warm, you got the adrenaline pumping, your body can do some pretty incredible things. But even with that being said, he had to have been going through a lot of pain. And Miles is a very rotational thrower. He he's more of kind of a lateral. He doesn't get a whole lot of weight going forward.
Oh.
He's more side to side weight. So that's even more challenging for him. But I've been really proud of how Miles has played. I know, that the record's not great, but what he's done has been it's been pretty good, pretty dang good. I mean, at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the season, you could tell he was maybe, adrenaline was pumping a little bit. He was trying to press. He threw a couple of, he threw a decent amount of like nose down balls, which, led to drops, which are hard balls to catch, but that's just kind of being tight and stiff and trying to aim a ball instead of just, letting your motion throw it. But the last couple of games, he's been throwing really well. So
yeah, I mean, it looked like a guy who hadn't started in 4 years, and then second game, the pocket presence, everything just light years better. Okay, I lied. Last one now. You think Bo Pelini and the crew can get it fixed defensively against South Carolina?
I mean, you got to think they can. I mean, the talent's there. I haven't gone back and watched a game from the end zone copy. Usually, I'm watching these games. I'm having a couple of cold pops, so I'm not really dissecting the defense too much. But what I see out there, what I have seen is, it might be a lot of schematics that we need to correct, and maybe some mistakes here and there from play calls, but who on the defense is going to step up and play like their hair's on fire? I just see a lot of accepting being blocked. I see a lot of, just not that LSU way that we're used to seeing on defense, like flying around, and there's a mentality at LSU, and it's been there since the early 2000s that we don't ever accept losing in our brains. The scoreboard at the end of the game might say that we don't have as many points as them sometimes, every now and then, but to us, you never want to. We don't ever think that we lost the game. Like, even if we get beat, we want the other team to feel like they lost the game physically, right? And I say that from I'm a quarterback. I never made anyone feel that physically.
Yeah, but y'all's defenses are badass, dude.
That's right. I just want to see them play. Like, if they make a mistake, if defense makes a mistake and gives up a big play, fine. But let's make them beat us like full speed. Make them beat us when we're running around playing our asses off. And you have these mistakes will happen, of course. Get a couple penalties, that's fine. But I don't want to see them accepting getting blocked. I don't want to see them people jogging at the backside of a play. That's just not what you want to see as a fan.
Yeah, I agree. And well said on all fronts. Matt Big Balls Flynn, you know him, you love him. Natty champion, Super Bowl champion. Matt, thanks for waking up with us this morning, man.
Thank you, T-Bob. Have a good one.
All right, take it easy, brah. Matt Flynn closing out OTB OT next.
OTB OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a new Highlander for $4,000 off MSRP. Yes, $4,000 off MSRP, and we have many in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 9.
Tune in Friday night for a full night of prep football coverage. It all starts at 6 with Louisiana Prep Preview. Catholic High and East Ascension kick off at 7, and we wrap things up with a full 2 hours of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on YouTube, CST, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back. OTBOT, wrapping up the show here. I'm trying to get to y'all's comments. I don't know what the hell y'all been talking about. My computer died. It looks like y'all went on some sort of... if I had to guess, I'm seeing a lot of Bieniemy stuff. Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs wild card, or the Chiefs offensive coordinator. And I'm guessing that this is all spiraled out of why did the Jets hire Adam Gase? And y'all are right for harping on this because it is unbelievable that you would hire Adam Gase when a guy like Bieniemy was out there for the taking. So, yeah. Also, I guess I should correct something from the Hold That podcast this week, which is well worth checking out, though we didn't know the full extent of the injury at the time, even though Brody ended up being one that got the scoop. But on that, I think that Brody alludes to that he thought that he had heard that Miles got hurt on not the big hit, but I think it's now come to light that it was indeed that big hit on the sideline that ended up with his ab. Yeah, so for anybody who also, because I was shocked when I heard that, and I kind of relayed that to some others too, and then I had to go back and tell them I was wrong. So if you told somebody that after hearing it on the Hold That podcast, sorry. But, go correct yourself, I guess, if you care, or don't, because it's sports and nothing really matters. It's just fun to sit here and talk about all day. We got some good ones tonight. We mentioned the NFL, Eagles, Giants. Not really a good one at all. But it's technically got playoff implications. What is a good one? We do have some nice little Fun Belt action. A little Arkansas State versus App State, huh? Look, if you're a UL fan, App State, that's a big game. You got it coming up here a little bit later. Look, the Fun Belt has been thriving on the weekend. Brian Burgess says you guys have an awesome and blessed Friday Eve. You have an awesome and blessed Friday Eve as well, Brian. And you, Danny, and you, Musa. I hope that you both have excellent days. Y'all did great work today, as you do every single day. Thank you to Andrew Lopez and Matt Flynn and Ryan Terrio coming on last minute and Michael Johnson. Look, okay, a little housekeeping here. Subscribe to Off the Bench Overtime. Google search Off the Bench Overtime. It'll show up right there on YouTube. Subscribe there for all your New Orleans Saints NFL videos. Of course, subscribe to the normal Off the Bench channel for all your LSU videos. And keep it locked right here, 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel for live programming all throughout the day. And the Fan Cave coming back this Saturday. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motors. You could